Welcome. We are back.
Hell yeah.
Should have played the
Missed
boys.
you guys.
Should have played the boys are back in town for this.
Should have. Yeah. Go back in the day with a little bit of Thin Lizzy. That's fine. That'd be good.
Yeah. Or the one like I did that one time with David Lee Roth. Did you miss us? We're back.
That's right. And we don't have pencils, but we have pens though. So
yeah, that's right. Just give me something to write on. We'll be.
I got a notebook. What's up, everybody? Happy to see you all. Happy to be back. Been an interesting couple of weeks. You know, last week we were off. I had to go out of town. Had a little bit of a family medical thing that we had to take care of. Won't go into great detail, but everything worked out. Everything's fine. Everyone's good and on the road to recovery. So that's good. So we got back into town. Can't remember what the hell day it was. Saturday we got back into town. That's what it was. It was like late Saturday. It was like 11 o'clock Saturday night. And you know, back in time for me to go back to work on Monday, and then this week was a bitch. This week was a bitch.
That always sucks.
It was rough, but made it through. Made it to Friday, and we're back with you guys. We're happy to be back.
Yeah. And also, if you missed the week before, we had 2 interviews that week. So if you guys want to go back and catch those, you can catch those over on YouTube or Spotify or wherever your listening pleasure is. So,
Now that we're on YouTube and Spotify, there's really no excuse not to listen to us.
That's right. Yeah.
I've only got YouTube, so I can only watch you guys on something where I have video. Nah, not anymore. you don't have that excuse anymore.
That's right. Yeah. So so if you missed it, we had Drew Fortier on Thursday night, I believe. And from the Lucid, and among other things, that dude's kind of a dude stays busy. I'll put it that way. So,
he is a jack of all trades. That man.
Yeah, and
he was great to talk to, man. I mean,
he was, yeah.
For only being in his mid-30s and doing as much stuff as he's done, books and movies and music and everything, he was super duper grounded and down to earth and just I mean, he was just a hell of a guy.
Yeah, and he'll easily was like, "Hey, we'll do it a third time if you want to." So,
he was totally down. So we'll have to do that.
Yeah, be the first 3-peater, I guess. So,
Drew's gonna go for the hat trick. So
the hat trick. Yeah. And then of course that Friday we had Joe Katie from Finality.
From Finality,
and also from Battlecross, if you know Battlecross, so he kind of they kind of transitioned over to Finality and put Battlecross on the back burner for a little bit. So which both bands are great to me, but
both bands from my neck of the woods.
So. Yeah, over up in Michigan there. So and before we go ahead.
And it would be remiss if we didn't give a quick shout out to our friend Dana over at Metal and Tats. They're down in Florida again this weekend with their Metal and Tats Invasion tour. So want to give a shout out to Dana and Halo Scars and all those guys. They're tearing it up down there.
I was about to bring that up because I seen you wearing the shirt. So
I decided. Well, like I say, I was out of town last week. I probably would have done it last week because last weekend was like the first weekend of the tour. So I decided to go ahead and bust out the Metal and Tat shirt this week for that. So
cool. And just before we get started, I want to give a shout out to one of our friends over at the Decibel Geek podcast, Aaron Camaro. Him and his wife are celebrating their 16th anniversary this weekend.
Hey,
so happy anniversary to you guys!
hell yeah, man!
I know they give us our shout outs when we have
Yeah.
things going on like that. So I always like to pay back a little bit. So so congratulations on that, Aaron, and
Found a woman who would found a woman who would put up with him
for that long. I mean, God bless him.
No, man, Aaron's a good dude. We break balls. So.
Oh yeah. I've actually been a guest on their show and they busted their balls a little bit while I was on there. So ain't nothing he ain't used to. That's for sure. So
that's true. That's true.
So all right, I guess we will kick off here with a couple of weeks worth of birthdays here. So
yeah,
it's kind of a thick one. So
that's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, that is what she said. She likes them short and fat, which right up my alley.
It's more about girth than length. Yeah,
I say that. I'm 6 foot tall, but anyway, I kind of like didn't realize that we had been gone 3 weeks, so I only did 2 weeks worth of birthdays. So I apologize for that. If there's something that I missed that I need to post, I'll stick it on our page or something. But I feel like birthdays are kind of just I don't know. It's kind of like just it's something we don't have to do. We just kind of do it out of because I find it fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I find fascinating is when some of these bands have band members in the same week. And I always think, man, back in the 80s, I bet that tour was wild as fuck that week. You got 2 guys from the same band. Like, yeah, they were partying up that week's.
Well, it was last month. I can't remember what day it was. Give me a second. I'll look it up. Hang on. It was March the March 20th show.
Okay.
Zoltan and Andy from Five Finger Death Punch had the exact same birthday.
Yeah, and they were wild back in the day, so Of course, not as much anymore, but yeah.
Well, father time is undefeated, so
that is true. So yeah. So anyway, I want to also want to give out some condolences to a buddy of mine, and I hope you don't mind me saying this on here, but a wrestling buddy of mine, Derek King, his brother got murdered the other day. So I want to give a shout out and thoughts and prayers to him, man, because that's Derek's a good dude, man, and that's just something. I automatically thought of LeJon Witherspoon when because that's kind of he's from the area, and that's kind of the same thing that happened with him and his little brother. So. So just wanted to give a shout out. Hopefully, things can go the best as they can. So,
cat's trying to get in the door.
Wow, that's pretty bad when a pussy knocks, man. That's pretty. Anyway, we'll get kicked off with these birthdays here from June 3rd up until today on the 16th. June 3rd, we had Doro Pesh, of course, singer-songwriter for Warlock and Doro, and the Queen of Metal. So she's always got that going for her.
Always will.
Yes. I don't think anybody could. It's kind of like funny who would take that throne at this point if something happened to her. I mean, that's kind of big shoes to fill. So,
very.
There's a few out there that could probably do it, but not been around as long as she has though. So,
no.
Of course, June 3rd, we also had Kerry King, of course, guitarist and songwriter for Slayer. We had Peter Takgren, vocalist and guitarist for Hypocrisy, and then Derek Roblin, guitarist for As We Suffer, which we'll talk about that band a little bit later as well. So, June 4th, we had Paul Sampson, guitarist for Samson. Of course, he passed away in 2002. And then we have Paul Taylor, keyboardist for Winger. Then we had David Pybus, bassist for Cradle of Death. June 5th, we had Michael Nico, it's kind of like what we know him by, Nico McBrain, drummer for Iron Maiden. We had Carl Sanders, guitarist and singer for Nile. Christian Martucci, guitarist for Stone Sour. And in June 6th, we had Steve Vai, guitarist and composer for David Lee Roth and, of course, Whitesnake. So he's been a pretty hefty career for Steve Vai. If you don't know who that guy is, then you've been under a rock. So,
Yeah, that's the thing is you don't even necessarily have to be a metalhead to know who Steve Vai is.
no. This is kind of one of the things I was talking about before we started talking about birthdays. June 6th, we had Tom Araya, bass guitarist and lead singer for Slayer. So you had Kerry King and Tom a couple days apart there. So I imagine those trips, road trips, were a little wild back in the day. So.
Well, I guarantee it probably had nothing to do with birthdays either. But yeah,
no, probably not.
just Slayer, just doing that shit.
Yeah.
The birthdays were probably. I would actually be willing to bet the birthdays were like the exact opposite. They're like, we should just chill out for a few days.
Probably, yeah. Give our liver a rest.
Yeah.
Then also June 6th, we had Sean Sult, better known as Shauna Reynolds, bassist for White Zombie. James Schaefer, Monkey, guitarist for Korn. And then Christina Scabbia, singer-songwriter for Lakota Coil. June 8th, we had one of our friends down there, Keegan Fields, drummer for Halo Scars. Tom Linane, bassist for Above Snakes. June 9th, we had John Lord, keyboardist and composer for Deep Purple and Whitesnake. He unfortunately passed away in 2012. We had Mick Box, guitarist for Uriah Heep. Trevor Boulder, bassist for Uriah Heep from 1976 to 2013, and also a record producer, but he unfortunately passed away in 2013. So I guess that's why he was only with Uriah Heep till 13. So, Greg Bissonette, session and touring drummer for David Lee Roth. Mitch McLee, drummer for South Gang. Rick Renstrom, guitarist for Leash Law from 2003 to 2005. And of course, he's been in a numerous number of projects since then. So kind of didn't have a way to list everything he's been involved in. So we had Samoth, guitarist, drummer for Emperor, and then Zyklon. We had Rob Yules, drummer for Generation Kill. June 10th, we had Nurgle, singer, guitarist, band leader, songwriter, actor. No, I don't know what all he's, but that dude does everything too. From Behemoth. Matter of fact, we was talking about that with Jason McMaster's. Like at first record, it was just Nurgle. So, so then we had Ernie C, guitarist for Body Count. Eric Rutan, vocalist and guitarist for Hate Eternal and Cannibal Corpse. June 11th, we had Jock Walgren, drummer for Amon Amarth. June 12th, we had Zolt Doxy. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, and I apologize if I'm not. Guitarist for Omen. He unfortunately passed away in 2007. June 13th, Ville Laha. You'll probably be able to do this better than me because they're from Sentence, and you know that band better than I do. So,
Ville Lahiala, yeah,
Lahiala. There you go. Vocalist for Sentence and Poison Black. June 14th, we had another birthday in Halo Scars as Jason Honecker, the guitarist, birthday. After celebrating his birthday in Florida, I guess. So.
That's right.
Then Rainus Dude, guitarist for The Dude, which is another band out there with those guys. So Steve Hunter, session guitarist for Alice Cooper. King Diamond, of course, he's vocalist, keyboardist, guitarist for Merciful Fate, King Diamond. Chris DeGarmo, guitarist for Queensryche. Then June 15th, we had Bernie, guitarist for Godslave. Craig Gruber, bassist for Rainbow. He unfortunately passed away in 2015. Joe Pizzulu, session and touring vocalist for Alice Cooper. Then we had Scott Rockenfeld, drummer for Queensryche. So it's another couple of Queensryche birthdays right there together. It's like, wow, that's crazy. I mean, you can't know that when you're getting together as a band. You know what I mean? I guess you could, but if you especially if you went to high school together and started a band, I guess. But
yeah, it is still very strange how
it is.
It seems like it happens.
Yeah, it is. And then, of course, today, June 16th, we had Kiko Laredo, uh, guitarist for Megadeth. And then we had Tim Scott, one of our friends, vocalist and bassist for Methane. So,
That's right.
so happy birthday to those. And I think you've had one personal one
Yes,
the
I
last couple of
did.
weeks. So,
Yep, sure did. It was this past Monday on the 12th. My wife, Angela, was her birthday. I'm not gonna tell you how old she is because I don't. I want to make it to my birthday in 2 weeks. So I.
well, if you didn't mention it,
So
you've been in the doghouse too. So,
yeah. Oh, I definitely wasn't gonna not mention it, but I'm
yeah.
not gonna. I'm not. I won't tell anybody how old she is. It's one of those. It's one of those female things that if they want to tell you, they'll tell you. So yeah,
Well, we know how old she is. So,
yeah, we know. We know.
uh, anyway, happy birthday to all of those. And if I missed anybody, happy birthday to you as well. And of course, like always, if anybody out there listening had a birthday, happy birthday to you. So,
You look like a monkey and you smell like one too.
yeah. Yeah. So I guess we can get into some of this crazy news of the week. It's been some wild stuff going on.
There've
I
been
got
a
a couple of
there've been a few
things.
things.
A
There's
couple.
been a
Hold
few.
on. Let me see if I need to touch on this before we get cranking because we'll see how I want to fit this in. So uh,
Okay.
let's see. Where's the other one? I had two. I thought. Uh, yeah, I guess I can go through these real quick. Then I'll let you kind of kick off because these are kind of short.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that works.
Living Wreckage. I don't know if anybody follows that band, but they're a pretty good band. I kind of followed them when they came out
Mm-hmm.
with their album last year or year before. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
they posted a feed or posted a post on their feed on Facebook there and said we would like to inform all of the Living Wreckage fans that we have parted ways with our vocalist Jeff Gard back in April of 2023. We would like to thank him for all of his contributions to the band and the great times over the last few years. And before the internet does its thing in the rumor mill, we also want to mention that there is no bad blood between us at all, and we remain brothers. We cannot wait to see what is next for Jeff, as we're sure it will be amazing. We would also like to take this opportunity to formally welcome our new vocalist, Sage King, to the Living Wreckage family. New music is coming very soon, live shows being booked constantly, and we hope to see you all June 24th in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Is that cornbread coming out here?
Yeah.
June 25th in Asbury Park, New Jersey, Bam Bigelow Country, to help us
That's
welcome
right. Yeah.
Sage to the band. So thanks everybody for supporting us. I thought that was kind of good. Like we didn't. It was no bad blood, so it was all cool. So
Always,
uh,
always, always good
yeah,
that it can be under, you know, everyone's on good terms.
yeah, right.
No acrimony, no animosity, no bad blood, none of that shit. No grudges, no mudslinging on social media or any of that bullshit. So it's good.
Yeah, and then also David Draymond posted a post on Instagram today. Oh, I think it was today, um, or maybe this was yesterday. Sorry, this may have been yesterday. But he was doing a bunch of press, and he wanted to make sure he got everything out in the open before the rumor mill started, kind of like they were talking about. So, but he had a tumor removed from his right radius last week, and he had been
Mm-hmm.
said he had been keeping him up and everything at night. So, and he should have some biopsy reports. He said today, so but I haven't seen an update. So maybe he's not ready to share, or he's busy not sharing yet. I don't know, but either way, hopefully everything is benign and he can continue on. So, but he did have like a big brace and stuff on, so I guess he was like, before anybody asked, I might as well go in and say
Yeah.
something. So he was doing a lot of the TV and stuff. So, sure, somebody would have been like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" But,
Yeah, I saw a picture of him with
mm-hmm.
his cast on, so I did see a
Yeah.
picture. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I know there was like a couple of blabbermouth uh, stories that dropped in the last couple of hours. I was like, damn. Um, I'll let you go ahead and take off. And
okay, all right. Well, I will actually start at Blabbermouth this week, and this is one that you had. I mean, I grabbed this one when it came out on Monday, but I saw where you had posted it to the Facebook group. But For everybody else who didn't see it, singer Tommy Karavik has quit the Swedish progressive metal band Seventh Wonder. On Monday, June 12th, the 41-year-old Swedish-born vocalist who has been a member of Camelot since 2012 released the following statement via social media, quote, "Dear friends and Seventh Wonder supporters around the world, Tommy here. Respectfully, if I could, please have a few minutes of your time. There's no easy way to say what I'm about to say, so I will just come out and say it. Moving forward, I will no longer be the singer of Seventh Wonder. Man, I knew this was going to be very hard, but it was so much harder than I thought actually putting the pen to paper. Seeing the words written down makes me a little, more than a little emotional. I love the music we've made. I love my brothers in the band, and I am so incredibly proud of everything we've managed to create for ourselves during the last 18 something years. Organically, we fought for our own little piece of real estate in the prog metal universe, put a fence around it, and called it our own. Unique and uplifting prog metal with catchy choruses, playful poppy melodies, and raw emotion. Someone once said we sounded like Europe on steroids. I love that description, so that one stuck with me. We were all boys that grew to be men alongside each other. Through celebrations and tragedies, we supported each other. Some became fathers and husbands, many of the absolute best moments and memories, not only in music, but in life in general. We shared together. Nothing will ever take that away or diminish the importance of that for me. I am a relentlessly stubborn person. I don't consider myself a quitter. I don't give up. However, I think it is important to understand when it is best to move on for the sake of your own progress and well being, as well as for the people around you. To move on is simply making room for the new things you want in life. That being said, I feel like I have done my part as a singer, writer, and co producer of Seventh Wonder. I have said what I wanted to say. I have spent all my energy, countless hours of blood, sweat, and tears, and poured my heart and soul into this band since day one, and it couldn't have been any other way. It is just the way I am wired. But everything has a time and a place, and it's time for me to let my creativity and energy flow in a different direction. Bottom line is that we only have one life. That is true for everyone, and I feel like I need to make room for all the music that I still have inside me. Music that makes me happy and that not yet have had an outlet. It is the best and most honest way I can contribute to the world. It is a new chapter of my life and one that I am very excited about. Seventh Wonder is definitely a part of my identity, and that's never going to change. I am so thankful that I got to be a part of the SW journey, thankful to my bandmates for taking me in and believing in me all those years ago, and thankful for everything that it led to. It has very much shaped me into who I am today. We sure have come a long way from that moldy stamp of rehearsal space in Ulvsunda and my somewhat unconventional audition of Stad e Ijus, and we did it as a band together. Lastly, I'm thankful for all the beautiful friends and supporters that we as a band have the honor of meeting along the way. Yeah. Unconditional love is the best way I can describe it. Always there on the sidelines cheering us on, even through periods of time when there was seemingly very little to cheer for. You are some of the finest and most patient fans in the world, and you are a huge reason to why this is so hard to write. So good night, but not goodbye. Rest assured that you will be hearing a lot more from both me and SW in the future, and we will all keep following our hearts in pursuit of happiness through the arts. There is no bad blood between me and the rest of the band as we keep being the best of friends, and I wish nothing but success and happiness for the guys moving forward. Thanks for listening. I love you all, and I hope to have your continued support and understanding. With gratitude, Tommy. And then the band goes on to basically say all the same things, and not 100% sure if they've got a follow up yet, but if and when they announce a replacement for Tommy, we will definitely let you guys know. So,
yeah, that band's been around for a minute too, I think. So,
yeah, they have.
Has he been the lead singer the whole time? Do you
Yes,
know?
they have. As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
But let me
like,
double check. Let me double check that real quick for you while you're doing your first story.
That's one of those bands I know of, but I don't know a lot about. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like. All right, my first one is interesting, to say the least. It's one I kind of showed you earlier. So this one over from Loudwire. The fallout from recent allegations against Rammstein's Till Lindemann continues to reverberate with the band's label Universal Music, revealing that they have halted marketing and promotion from the group amid a recent investigation into the singer by German officials. Following news that a probe had been initiated by prosecutors in Berlin on Wednesday, June 14th, Universal Music issued a statement that reads as follows. Quote, the accusations against Till Lindemann have shocked us, and we have the greatest respect for the women who have spoken out so courageously in public in this case, the labels end quotes, the label said, while also announcing their suspension of promotion for the band, per the New York Times. Quote, preliminary proceedings have been initiated against Till Lindemann on allegations relating to sexual offenses and the distribution of narcotics, end quotes, as a spokesperson for on behalf of the Berlin Public Prosecution's Office said initially regarding the investigation, adding that they launched it at their own discretion as well as on the basis of several criminal complaints filed by third parties. Last month, a fan who attended the band's concert in Vilnius, I thought I cut this thing off. Sorry, this thing was still on, and I was echoing. I was like, "What the hell?" But anyway, last month, a fan who attended the band's concert in Vilnius, Lithuania, wrote a series of posts on both Reddit and Twitter, claiming that she was drugged during the show's pre-party after being invited by a member of the Rammstein camp. She further alleged that she was. Hold on, I lost my spot. Sorry. Something caught my peripheral. She further alleged that she was recruited to have sex with Lindemann under the stage during one of the show's interludes, in which she declined. Though the woman asserted that she was not sexually assaulted, she shared several photos and videos of bruises that she woke up with the next morning after the show, and claimed that she was sick the entire day despite not consuming a lot of alcohol throughout the night. After her post went viral, several other women reportedly, of course, made allegations against the singer. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it that way, but the singer on various social media platforms too, according to Barron's. Rammstein denied the accusations in a statement on their social media on May 28th, writing, with regard, quote, with regard to the allegations circulating on the internet about Vilnius, we can rule out the possibility that what is being claimed took place in our environment. We are not aware of any official investigation into this matter, end quote. Following the accusations, Lindemann was dropped by his publisher, also, Kippenhauer and Wish. The company issued a statement writing that they became aware of a porn video in which Till Lindemann celebrated sexual violence against women, and in which the 2013 book In Still Night, published by Kippenhauer and Wish, plays a role, and thus they ended their relationship with him as a client. On June 3rd, Rammstein wrote another statement on their social media addressing the allegations. The publication of the last few days have caused irritation and questions among the public, and especially among our fans. The allegations hit us all very hard, and we take them extremely seriously. We say to our fans that it is important to us that you feel comfortable and safe at our shows, in front of and behind the stage. We condemn any kind of transgressions and ask you do not engage in public prejudice of any kind against those who have made allegations. You have a right to your point of view. But we, the band, also have a right, namely, not to be prejudiced either. So that I feel like there's going to be more coming from this story. So,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't doubt it. Definitely don't doubt it. Oh, hey, cat. Yeah, so we'll definitely keep you guys up to date with anything major that comes from this. We're not gonna
right,
probably we're not gonna Marilyn Manson this thing. We don't. I take that back. I hope we don't have to. I hope
right, yeah.
it doesn't. I hope it doesn't come to that. So but
I'm sorry if
even
if I offended anybody by saying what I did. It's just become a thing to where one woman comes out and then all of a sudden 30 women come out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't kind of seem, I guess, relevant. I guess, or I don't know how to put that, but it seems like they're more or less trying to get on the bandwagon to try to get something out of. You know what I mean? Which it may not be the case.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what it seems
So
like. That's what it seems like. So,
yeah.
so
Well, I mean, I know what you're trying to say, and I agree to a certain extent. I mean, if any of these accusations end up being true, then obviously, there need to be repercussions. Absolutely,
right, exactly, yeah,
there absolutely do. We are not and will never say that people who are accused of any of this stuff, if they're guilty, don't need to face the consequences, because they absolutely do. But it seems to sometimes it almost seems a little too convenient that it just
Mhm.
takes the one, and then, like you say, there's just, oh yeah, me too, not trying to bring up the Me Too movement thing or anything, but just, oh yeah, this, and oh yeah, that, and oh yeah, this, and oh yeah, this. And so
Well, I mean, just kind of look at what we were talking about with Drew a couple weeks ago with Dave Ellison. All that wound up being, not, the media kind of blew that out of
hmm
proportion. Half of it wasn't true. So I mean, that's the
yeah,
thing is they, before I take a side, I need to make sure I got all the facts. So
right.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, when it was all said and done, the only thing that was really true about the David Ellison thing was that he cheated on his wife.
oh yeah, yeah.
And of course I'm not condoning that at all.
Well, no, no,
Of course it's a bad thing, but it's between him and his wife.
right,
You know, but the media, oh, he was grooming this woman and everything else. And even the woman was like, "Whoa, time out. That's not what happened."
right,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, I want everything to come out that needs to come out.
Well, I mean,
That's
even
true.
even
That's
even
that's true.
even the case you just brought up about Marilyn Manson, I mean, 3 of those charges have already been dropped. So
Well, that's yeah. A lot of them have been actually. A lot of them have been dropped. A lot of them have been dismissed. Of
yeah,
course,
but this
I think he settled with a couple.
he,
So I
he,
mean,
he may have, yeah,
so
but
you
I'm
know,
just saying, I'm not going to condone his actions whatsoever because I mean,
no,
if
no,
he
no,
did
no.
any of that stuff, then and
Mhm.
from what we know about Marilyn Manson, it really wouldn't surprise us. So, um,
Not in the least.
yeah, but I
No.
mean,
So
but you hardly ever hear anything like that out of Till Lindemann or anything. So it's kind
mhm.
of like wow. So kind of hit a lot of the as us as fans kind of been like wow, that's kind of
Yeah.
you know kind of we don't know what to make of it either at this point. So
Right.
um,
Yeah. So it's definitely still early in the process, and as fans, we hope it's well. As fans, and for Till, and for the alleged victims, we hope it's
yeah.
we hope
Well,
it's not
so this is
we
my
hope it's not true,
so
right?
this is my take. The lady didn't wait to say anything. So something obviously happened to her that wasn't
Maybe,
you know
maybe.
whether he did it or not is a different story. But obviously something
True,
happened.
true.
Because she didn't not. I mean, it wasn't like she waited 3 years to come out and say, "Oh, well, he did." I mean,
hmm
she came forward pretty quickly. So
Yeah,
I'll give
yeah.
her props for being courageous enough to do that. So,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But
I mean,
but to have other people jump on the bandwagon, it's kind of like hold up, like
yeah,
pump the brakes a little. So,
yeah,
um, you know,
yeah.
it,
Sometimes
and unfortunately, like we say, people are wrong people. So I mean.
yeah. So
And it could have been
if
vice versa. It could have been, this could have been, say burning witches, and somebody did that to those, to them as a guy, and I'd still be like, hold up, man, that's, you know,
right,
3 years,
yeah,
3 years, and you gonna say something now, like,
right.
but, but yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're not just we're not, I mean, hell, we're not picking on anybody. We're
no,
not
no,
picking
no,
on anybody at all. If any of this stuff, if any, like we said back when the Marilyn Manson shit, if any of this shit is true, he deserves to be punished. If
right,
any of this
exactly,
shit, if any of this shit's true, that if Till Lindemann was directly involved in any of this, he deserves to be punished. We are not gonna we are not trying to we're not trying to you know advocate for members of bands we're fans of to get a free pass.
no,
Absolutely not. Everyone needs to be held to the same standard, and unfortunately that doesn't happen a lot in this world. Whether it's
no.
celebrities or politicians or whatever, man. I mean, the laws.
I was in an argument with that earlier today about some certain politician. I said, oh, he's on a different level than we are, so unfortunately, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Fortunately, if we had to say so about it,
So
we'd probably hang them
so
all. But
yeah. Well, yeah.
don't give me no
Yep.
executioner acts. I'll tell you that right now. 'Cause there'd be a lot of people on the chopping block. Uh, maybe some innocent folks on it too. Like,
The other thing would be that fucking thing would be swinging like a pendulum. Just line them up.
yeah, yep, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, but anyway, if we find
be like
anything else
the
out
be like
on that
the
matter, we
be
will
like
pass
the
that
be
on.
like the sort of
Mm. Yeah.
yeah.
But like I said, if we find anything else out on this matter, we'll pass it along. So we're not going to beat it to death, but if we find a
Absolutely. Yep.
find out some major news, we'll share it. So even if it's in the headlines, we'll still kind of touch on it. But
Mm-hmm. Yep.
mm.
Yep. All right. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna stay over at Blabbermouth for this next one. Let's see. All right. What do we got? All right. Ex-Volbeat guitarist Rob Caggiano says that he is extremely proud of everything he and his former bandmates accomplished over the course of the last 10 years. Caggiano's exit from Volbeat was officially announced on June 5th. He has since been replaced on the road by Flemming C. Lund of the Arcane Order. Earlier on June 12th, Rob, who played on Volbeat's last four studio albums, 2013's Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies, 2016's Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie, 2019's Rewind, Replay, Rebound, and 2021's Servant of the Mind, released the following statement via social media. Quote, "Hello, everyone. I'm sorry if this is a bit overdue, but now that I've had ample time to process everything going on around me, I have a few things I'd like to say publicly. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone out there for all the amazing messages and support I've gotten over the last few days. It's been very powerful and humbling for me, to say the least. It's reassurance that I'm on the right path, and it means so much to me right now. To all the amazing fans and friends I've met all over the world throughout the years, I love and cherish each and every one of you. Thank you for sticking with me through hell or high water. The world seems to be getting weirder and weirder with each passing day, and life never stops throwing twists and turns at us, but you guys always keep me driven, focused, and inspired to create music, follow my heart at all costs, and chase my dreams wherever they may take me. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I also want to wish Michael, John, Caspar, Anders too, and the entire Volbeat camp the best of luck moving forward. I'm extremely proud of everything we accomplished together over the last 10 years. Sometimes relationships simply run their course. Sometimes certain obstacles, people, or circumstances get in the way of the greater good. Sometimes people change and priorities shift. Sometimes it's unavoidable. We had a very special, undeniable magic together as a band. It's not something that comes around too often in this life, and it's not something to be taken lightly. I certainly do not. However, while this is really a very emotional time for me, I'm also extremely excited about what lies ahead in the future. Lots of exciting things happening right now. I really couldn't be more fired up. Stay tuned." End quote. So I guess we'll see what Rob's got going on next, and who knows who's going to step in for him full time for Volbeat. So we'll see what happens.
Cool.
We shall see.
All right. I guess my next one, this is kind of a short one. This is over from Metal Sucks. If you're ever going to be sick during a concert or potentially put yourself at risk of breaking your damn neck crowd surfing, I hope it's at a Trivium show. Not because I want you to get hurt or suffer in any way, but rather because we'd all be able to rest easy knowing the band's frontman, Matt Heafy, will do what he can to make sure you're going to be okay. Last week, Heafy jumped down from the stage to catch a fan that was crowd surfing when he noticed security wasn't in the area to catch them. This week, we have footage of Heafy stopping the show to help security and medical personnel get to and assist a fan experiencing health issues. It all happened during their gig at Tempe, Arizona's Marquee Theater. The band were in the middle of the song when he stopped the music, asked for the house lights to be turned on in the crowd, and began directing traffic among fans so they could clear a way for professionals to tend to the fan. In his post, Heafy said he might need a new stage name after everything that's happened during the tour's recent stops. We don't know what issue that fan was dealing with at the time, but we hope they are all right. Given the number of incidents involving fans, you may be a little reticent to attend the final two U.S. stops of Trivium's tour with Beartooth, but that would be ridiculous. Both bands put on a great show, and hell, you know that if something goes wrong, Matt Metal Dad Heffy would be in there to stop it. So I guess they gave him his nickname, Metal Dad.
There you
go. So that's pretty cool.
There you go.
You know, and like I said, I've been to shows where a lot of the bands have been more conscious of what's going on in the crowds, which is cool. So they tend to stop if they need to stop. Of course, fans will throw up the X if they need them to stop too. So they tend to look for that too. So it's pretty cool that Heafy was out there to catch a crowd surfer. Right? That's something the guy probably won't ever forget, or girl, whoever was crowd surfing. So
right, yeah.
They'd be like, "Yeah, but did you get caught by Matt Heafy?"
Right. Yeah. All right, I'm going over to the PRP for just a minute for a really, really short one. This is ridiculously short, but guitarist Dominic Landolina has literally been forced to sit out Code Orange's current round of European touring. As revealed recently by the band Below, Landolina is recovering from foot surgery at present. The band commented, quote, "We will be without our brother DM Lando," that's at DM Lando, "on our European tour as he's just undergone foot surgery. The price of going hard for many years. We wish him the best and see you out there," end quote. So there you go. That's the update. That's the update from Code Orange. So, like I said, it was super duper short.
Uh, this one, I don't know where I got this from. I think it was Metal Injection. I'm pretty sure, but I think it was on a couple of them. So, uh, horror film inspired rock band Ice Nine Kills are releasing. Hey, look at that! Ice Nine Kills. That was not by
Hey, there we
that
go.
was not on purpose. I promise you. uh, are releasing the Silver Scream novel based off their previous album of the same name this August 2023 in hardcover, ebook, and a limited edition vinyl audiobook narrated by American actor Tony Todd. Over the last 4 decades, horror classic films such as A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Halloween, The Shining, It, and Saw have become staples in the horror film industry. Spencer Charnas, the lead vocalist and founder of Ice Nine Kills, is a horror film fanatic. Throughout Charnas' career, he has lyrically and visually spawned ideas from the multiple horror movie classics. And with Ice Nine Kills, they've successfully birthed a sonic blend of metalcore and rock music to pay homage to these classic films. In October of 2018, Ice Nine Kills released their fifth studio album, The Silver Screen. The first single, The American Nightmare, inspired by the horror classic of Nightmare on Elm Street, was pre-released in June that year. Uh, this release created a buzz around the band's upcoming album, and at that time, the band became the band's highest charting album, scanning 19,000 copies in the first week. The horror This horror-inspired 13-track record landed the band in the top 10 on Billboard's top album charts. After the success of The Silver Scream, Ice Nine Kills released a follow-up to The Silver Scream with The Silver Scream 2, Welcome to Horrorwood, in October 2021. To date, this has become the band's biggest success, reaching number 18 on the U.S. Billboard Top 200, also claiming the number one spot on the Hard Rock Albums chart. This horror-inspired album also featured a number of guest vocalists such as Jacoby Shaddix, Brandon Soller, and George Corpse Grinder Fisher. Now coming this summer, Bayonet Award-winning television reporter Roy Merkin has teamed up with Ice Nine Kills to release another chapter of the Silver Scream series with this horrifically murderous detailed novel. Merkin takes us through the valley of Charnas' nightmares, reconstructing how art became murder and how the copycat murders of some of horror classics' killings became real. For signed hardcover, limited edition vinyl, and various merch bundle packs, you can visit rarebirdlit.com. So there's that. Some of the pretty cool little things. So
Very cool. Very cool. Very nice.
we on a delay or
No,
oh okay. I just
I don't think so.
You were pausing. I was like, man, am I like? I kept looking over to see if I was like, man,
No,
better not be fucking
no,
cutting out. I'll snap.
no,
I was like, I'll snap because I'm hooked straight into this shit.
no, all good.
uh,
No, all good.
how many more you got?
I have two, and then I have a quick shout out for some of our for one of our friends. So
Okay. So we'll balance out.
yeah,
Cool. I got two more I was going to read over from Blabbermouth that just came out today, and I didn't get the chance to put them on my list. But
okay, all right, that's cool.
I want to talk about that because I think it's something that it's kind of falls into something we've talked about before. So
Okay, all right. So I'm going back to Blabbermouth for this next one. USAopoly, the Op Games, the board game and puzzle publisher behind iconic licensed games and best-selling party games, Telestrations, Blank Slate, and Q's and Q's, which I've never heard of any of those,
I mean,
has teamed up with Iron Maiden, one of heavy metal's most prolific and influential bands of all time, and global leader in play Hasbro, to bring fans the ultimate piece of tabletop memorabilia, Monopoly Iron Maiden Somewhere on Tour. Played by traditional Monopoly rules, players will buy, sell, and trade properties named after the classic albums, including Number of the Beast, Brave New World, Senjutsu, and more, to bankrupt their opponents and be the last one with Eddie face money to win. The notorious mascot also adorns the traditional chance and community chest cards, aptly renamed Feeling Lucky and Open the Box, entertaining gamers and troopers alike with instances of success, advanced to the nearest maiden goodies, and brushes with bad luck, bad weather, Ed Force 1 diverted. 6 custom sculpted pewter tokens also serve as miniature tributes to the band's records and gear, such as an Albatross amp stack, flying helmet, Nico's drum kit, Wasted Years computer, and Steve's bass. Quote, we're delighted to have been given the opportunity to have Monopoly get the full Eddie treatments, said Rod Smallwood, manager of Iron Maiden. In true Iron Maiden fashion, we commissioned our main tour artist, Accurant, to grace the board and the box lid with some of our most loved Eddies on tour. The game is full of our humor. Who else would ransom Nico's pal Sooty? Even the player pieces reflect our unique history, yeah, the impaled albatross, and the weird and wonderful world we share with our fans and they have come to expect from us. So let's see. What is this? It's supposed to come out. Its MSRP is $44.99. Doesn't it must already be out because it doesn't have anything on here about when it's coming out. So for more information, visit the OP Games website.
Okay. Cool deal.
It was actually pretty bad. hang on just a second. You'll have to you'll have to pull this up for me, but let's see. Share screen. Yeah, so there's the board right there.
Oh yeah, okay, that's badass.
So yeah, that's pretty badass right there.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Like I didn't have to need to spend any more money. So
right.
Shit.
And instead of spending $45, you'll have to spend $90 because you want to play one and keep one. So.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, I probably wouldn't play it honestly. I'd open it, look at it, and be like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty bad about.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty badass.
That's
I like
pretty badass, man. I like that, yeah. All right. This one over at Blabbermouth. Vocalist Fernando Ribeiro of Portuguese metalers Moonspell is undergoing tests at a Lisbon hospital after playing what he says was the hardest gig of his life at a Polish festival. This was kind of last week, so I was just carrying it over because we weren't here last week. So on Friday, June 9th, Fernando took to social media to write, I want both to say thanks and to apologize to the amazingly empathetic crowd of Mystic Festival in Dansk, Poland. Thanks for your support in the hardest gig of my life in 30 years of Moonspell. Life lately hasn't been kind to me. The pandemics, the comeback with 3 months on tour in harsh conditions, personal things, the ugly state of the world, and some health problems have been piling up. And yesterday I crushed under the weight of right in front of you. No other way to put it. Apologies, because I feel it's my duty to always be on top vocally and physically to our fans who pay their hard-earned money to see our shows. No excuses. Nevertheless, make no mistake, I gave you all I had and beyond that and made it through the whole show, leaving the stage standing and walking on my own 2 feet. Nothing of this would be possible without the love of my band, crew, and fans I shall never forget. A word of gratitude to the paramedic team who assisted me after the show and fixed me so I could travel back to Portugal. I'm currently being watched and tested at a Lisbon hospital, and I'm pretty sure all will be fine. In the end, my health problem is a stomach condition, nothing to do with drugs that I don't use or alcohol. I haven't been drinking lately. You make sure you let everybody know that, because somebody's going to say something.
Of course.
Made worse by the feeling of exhaustion and, yes, depression striking me lately, and that I shall overcome in time. In the meanwhile, I hope to see you in the remaining summer tour. Our remaining summer shows of Moonspell before we take a small break from playing live to focus on our own personal matters and further Moonspell projects. So hopefully he's doing okay. I haven't got any updates on that, so I was actually looking for those too while I was doing the story, but I didn't see anything. So hopefully everything came out okay. So
yeah,
there is something else I want to do too.
Okay.
But you can carry on. I'll find this in a minute.
All right. Okay. This one, I'm going over to wearethepit.com for this one. This one isn't. This one is more music centric. This one's more music centric. It's not really it's not heavy metal specific, but
Gotcha.
it has it has a pretty you know it has a pretty broad spectrum of coverage for this one. But heavy metal is included in here. So over at wearethepit.com, there are a lot of folks who are not too pleased with how Twitter is run nowadays, including individuals from major music companies who claim to see quote unquote rampant infringement of copyrighted music taking place on the platform. In regard to these claims and damages that have allegedly been caused, companies like BMG, Sony, and Warner, among others, have filed a lawsuit against the social media platform for $250 million. Quote, this is a civil action seeking damages and injunctive relief for Twitter's willful copyright infringement. Twitter fuels its business with countless infringing copies of musical compositions, violating publishers and others' exclusive rights under copyright law. While numerous Twitter competitors recognize the need for proper licenses and agreements for the use of musical compositions on their platforms, Twitter does not, and instead breeds massive copyright infringement that harms music creators. End quote. Another section of this lawsuit goes on to claim that Twitter, quote, consistently and knowingly hosts and streams infringing copies of musical compositions, end quote. I will not read this whole thing, I promise you. It doesn't even have the whole thing in the story. Per this section of the lawsuit, quote, Twitter knows perfectly well that neither it nor users of the Twitter platform have secured licenses for the rampant use of music being made on its platform as companies of herein. As complained of herein, sorry. Nonetheless, in connection with its highly interactive platform, Twitter consistently and knowingly hosts and streams infringing copies of musical compositions, including ones uploaded by or streamed to Tennessee residents, and including specific infringing material that Twitter knows is infringing. Twitter also routinely continues to provide specific known repeat infringers with use of the Twitter platform, which they use for more infringement, end quote. And in Section 11, the lawsuit states, quote, Twitter's unlawful conduct has caused and continues to cause substantial and irreparable harm to publishers, their songwriter clients, and the entire music ecosystem. Twitter's unlawful conduct enriches Twitter at publishers and their songwriters' expense and to the detriment of their copyrighted musical compositions. Twitter has rebuffed calls for it to obtain the licenses or other agreements needed for musical compositions to be lawfully used on its platform. Accordingly, publishers have no choice but to file this lawsuit to stop Twitter's ongoing infringement of publishers' rights and remedy the significant harm Twitter has caused, which will continue if left unremedied, end quote. These are some serious allegations. We will keep you posted on this story as more details come in. That is, of course, in the story. That is from wearethepit.com. If you are interested in learning more about this matter, you can read the lawsuit in its entirety for yourself by following the link here. And there is a hyperlink in the story. And this also isn't the only place I saw this. This was just the first place that I saw it. So if you want to read more into it, you can. Like I say, this isn't metal specific, but
right.
But it's just one of those things, it's in there somewhere. And the funny thing is I didn't even, the first time I looked at that story, I didn't even see that Tennessee was even mentioned the first time. So that was a complete surprise to me. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is one that I seen earlier that just got released about, I don't know, 6-7 hours ago probably, but it was over Blabbermouth. In a new interview with Sakis Fragos of Rock Hard Grease, Cradle of Filth frontman Danny Fifth spoke about the decline of music industry as consumers value access per ownership and experience over assets. He said, as transcribed by blabbermouth.net, it's been deteriorating ever since. I think 2006 was the year that everything swapped from being comfortable for musicians. Well, not necessarily comfortable. It was never comfortable, but it went to just being a lot harder with the onset of digital age, the onset of music streaming platforms that don't pay anybody, like Spotify are the biggest criminals in the world. I think we had 26 million plays last year, and I think personally I got about 20 pounds, which is less than an hourly work rate. Oh, wow. For example, the other day, my girlfriend, she's an ill cat. She's got an ill cat, sorry. Her cat's very sick and needed a life or death operation, he continued. She's a well-known tattooist, and she posted a thing online about a GoFundMe for her cat, and she was going to do a raffle, and people could win a tattoo, etc., etc. The point of it is a lot of people were like, why the fuck should we pay for your cat? You're going out with a multi-millionaire. And she was like, excuse me, I don't think you understand how the music industry works nowadays. One, he's not a multi-millionaire at all. Two, I'm my own person and this has nothing to do with him. I think I think that people just have this amazing ability to believe that when you have a lot of stuff out there, like physical product, that you're earning a fortune from it. Filth added. They don't realize that you have so many people taking pieces of the pie: record company, management, accountants, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter if you're not getting any money in the first place. There's not much money to share around. And nowadays, the reason why people put out limited edition vinyls and stuff is for collectors. They're the only people that buy it. Other people just stream it for nothing. That's why you're finding a lot of bands since the pandemic are not touring. Petrol's gone up, tour bus tour bus hires gone up, the cost of living's gone up. Yeah, it's very hard for bands at the moment, but it doesn't help when people just have this inbuilt idea that it's not a privilege to get music. The music is something that you should be given that should be given away for free. I mean, I don't walk into someone's shop and just pick up, I don't know, a pack of bananas and say, well, these grow on trees, they should be free. I'm walking out with these. I'd be arrested for shoplifting, but it's fine for people to download even before albums are out. You'd find fans like, oh, I've got a link to this, and they put it up, and then instantly any sales you're going to get from people buying it for a surprise are out the window because they've already heard it, and then they just move on to the next thing. Yeah, the music industry is on its knees at the moment, Danny concluded. I still enjoy making music, don't get me wrong, I love it. But yeah, the musician nowadays is finding a million things against them. It's a hard time. so that's like I said, we've heard different things about that, um, in the past. So um,
Yeah, that's true.
so
I don't like I don't. It's to think that I don't know. It's real short sighted to think that just because you're in a band and you're putting out music that you just have all this money. You know,
mhm,
you just have all this money.
yeah. And I'm gonna kind of like lead into this one because this kind of may lead into what this story too. This was also from Blabbermouth. Said in a new interview with Yahoo Entertainment's Lindsay Parker, AI. I keep thinking about AI music. Sorry, because of the Spotify thing, like it just popped in my head because
Yep.
anyway, Lindsey Parker, Al Jorgensen revealed that he is close to putting Ministry to bed more than 40 years after he launched a band in former hometown of Chicago. My career is winding down with Ministry, Jorgensen said. I'm going to stop Ministry in an album or two. I have to. I have other things I want to do. He continued, my public and my band are all in agreement that we are being shackled by. We are taking our genre to the farthest limits as it can go, and we're happy with that. And we'll stop when it's time instead of keep going and trying to just recreate the same stuff. We keep trying to push farther. So I figure there's only maybe one more album to go, maybe two, but probably just one more. Jurgensen added that I have other things to do. I have projects that I'm working on with various people. I have film scores and ministry. Now we're being held to the standard of this new ministry of okay, either push further or don't or do the most popular stuff over and over and over and over, which we have with Psalm 69 or something like that. I'm tired of that. We're all tired of that. We are, the fans aren't. So I think this next year or two is really going to be transformative in the sense that I'm wrapping a bow on my entire career and saying drop my thank you. Thank you for buying our t-shirts tonight and you follow me on this journey. I revealed that one of the ministry's final recordings might be a remake of the band's first album with Sympathy, which he claims he had little control over, with the record company at the time dictating its direction. According to Jurgensen, a new version of With Sympathy would tie a bow on the whole thing, and then he could just say mic drop and good night. But the ministry mastermind said that he and his bandmates are heading into the studio to commence work on a new record recording of Revenge, one of the three singles from With Sympathy, with the possibility that they will re-record three of the album's other cuts, Effigy, Work for Love, and Here We Go. As for when the fans might hear these new versions, Al said, I think it's going to be sooner than you think. So, let's see. So this is not the first time Jurgensen's vowed to make a final ministry album. 2007, The Last Sucker was supposed to be the band's last ever LP. Then, while working on other projects, Inspiring Riffs were born. that would eventually become 2012's Relapse. Later that year, Jurgensen began work on yet another Ministry album with longtime guitarist and collaborator Mike Scatia. 3 days after leaving the Ministry sessions in El Paso in the early hours of December 2012, Scatia suffered heart failure on stage while performing with his other band, Rigor Mortis, and was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. Scastia's death both devastated and motivated Jorgensen's return to the studio to put the final touches on what they had restarted in memory of his best friend. So that resulted in 2013's From Beer to Eternity. So there we go. That's kind of where they're at with Ministry, looks like. So that's kind of unfortunate. That's another band that's going to be, we always hate to hear bands. I mean, I know eventually they want to kind of move on and do other things, but it's still, to a fan's perspective, we get kind of selfish with that and be like, oh man,
yeah, we do.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of younger bands coming up out there that if that's what they want to do, I mean, it's not like there's a lack of music, you know what I mean?
No, there's not.
I'm sure Ministry fans will be upset that they're kind of be going away or whatever, but it is what it is. So
yeah,
you got to do what's best for you at the time. So, and who knows? Bands say that, and then 6-7 years later, they're like, "Oh man, we need to do this." But it's like I said, they'll write a song or something and be like, "Oh man, this is kind of Ministry," And then the next thing you know, Ministry's making a new album. So you just never know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, hell, what's it been like? It was like 10 years without Mudvayne, and now they're back together making music. So I mean, bands, they, whether it's one member or the band just kind of goes on hiatus altogether, but you can never say never. I am still not 100% beyond the shadow of a doubt certain that we will never see Slayer again. I am not. I am not 100% guaranteeing that we will never see them again.
Oh, I think we will at some point. I mean,
I think so.
Once his kids get a little bit older and out on their own and stuff, he's probably going to be like, you know what, ain't got nothing else to do. Let's just go back. So it was more of a family thing for Tom. So
and I totally get that. I totally get it.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a road, God knows how long. I mean, Slayer was probably on the road 200 days a year at least. That's at least. So I'm not saying it's probably more than that, but because I mean they toured everywhere, around the world. So but yeah. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done with my news stories, but before we move on, I want to give a quick shout out, and I want to share this with everybody. I know you saw it. I know you probably saw it over on the Facebook group, but our friends at Hidden Intent are heading over to Europe, all the way from Australia. Mm-hmm. They're heading over to Europe, and they're going to be playing Wacken Open Air this year. And so Chris, Phil, and Paul, we've met all three of these dudes.
Yeah, cool
we
guys.
We met them in Knoxville last year when they were there with Angelus Apatrida.
And then they came on the show as well. So
yeah, super duper nice guys. They were gracious enough to come on the show with us, and we had a great time talking with them. So these guys are, they're not new, but they're an up and coming band as far as we're concerned, and they put on a hell of a live show.
Yes, they do.
And so they're going on tour. Like I say, they're going over to Germany, and Chris has started, not me, the lead singer of the band, has started a GoFundMe. I shared it on the Facebook group, and I want to share it with you guys. I want to share it with you guys now. The cool thing is I've had this pulled up since the beginning of the show. And since the beginning of the show, it's gone up $250 since the show started.
Nice, cool.
So as of right now, it's at $2,685. They're looking for a goal of $10,000. In the description, it says, "Thanks to years of dedication, hard work, and your support, DIY thrashers Hidden Intent have hit a huge milestone opportunity to performed to over 75,000 people at this year's Wacken Open Air in Germany, all achieved with no record label support or successful grant applications. Since their last European tour, costs have gone up, making it super difficult to tour in today's climate. Even heavy-hitting bands such as Anthrax have had to cancel tours because of this. Twice, by the way.
Right.
The boys have an 18-date tour, which includes numerous travel expenses, international internal flights, extra baggage fees, car hire, petrol, ferries, hotels, motels, food, merchandise, printing costs, visas, and more. To alleviate some of the finances, we've set up this GoFundMe page. Cheers heaps for your ongoing support, and thank you for being a part of the journey of Hidden Intent. Thanks for your donations in advance, legends. So these guys, I know a lot of these bands have put in a lot of road work, literally and figuratively. But like I say, we've met these guys. They're phenomenal musicians. They're all great dudes. These guys, we are super duper pumped that they're getting to go to Europe and that they're getting to play like they said in front of 75,000 people in Wacken. These dudes deserve the hell out of this.
Yeah.
So if you guys can donate like anything, 10, $20, anything will help, because these guys, they mention Anthrax in the description. Anthrax, as much as it sucks that they had to cancel a couple of tours over there, Anthrax is still okay. Anthrax is fine. These guys deserve their shot. Right. They deserve their shot. They deserve to go on that stage and be seen by all those people. And if any of you guys can help out,
they're still a younger band. So I mean,
they are.
I think they're like early 30s or something. So
yeah, I think so. But yeah, they deserve this shot, and any help you guys can give would be great. So, I don't know how long this is set up for. I don't know if I don't really know, but but Chris, the lead singer, set this up. I sent him a message last night, and I told him that I would share it to the Facebook group, which I did, and I told him I mentioned it on the show, and he was super duper grateful. And we're more than happy to share this. So,
well, like I said, we got to do our part, and if that's all we can do, then that's better than nothing. So,
every little bit helps, you guys. So if you got a few extra bucks you can throw their way.
Well, what do you always say? If 1 million people gave you $1, I'm just saying.
That's right.
You have $1 million.
That's right. All right, so there we go.
Yeah, but in Australian fashion, you cunts should donate. I don't know if you've seen that. Ricky Rabin was posted a video. He said, "You guys," because he's in Australia now wrapping up his tour.
Oh, is he? Okay.
And he was like, "Man, you guys are crazy. Y'all throw this C word around like it's nothing. See, if I say that in the States, man, I'm in a fight." And then somebody was like, "Well, you have to say it in a endearment way. You can't just go out and say you fucking cunt. I mean, you got to say it like, hey, what's up, cunt? And they're like, hey, what's and they're like, hey, cunt, and then it's like, what? Yeah. I seen like videos like that. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, and I noticed like Hidden Intent say that sometimes too. But, when they do some of their live stuff, I'm like,
yeah, they do.
And then I didn't realize how big of a thing it was until Ricky was talking about it. The audience kind of filled him in. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. So I guess my potty mouth will fit right in Australia. So.
Oh yeah.
But I know like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe longer than that, we shared a video of David Draymond kind of talking about his depression and stuff on stage. Yeah. And I want to say this: Butcher Babies have a new album coming out, and they have a track on there which was on last week's playlist. It's called Last December. It's a ballady type, which is a little bit different for them, but. It definitely like, man, when I've seen this video that I'm going to show you in a minute, and then I heard the song, and it kind of hit me kind of deep, man. I'm just like, ooh. And this is kind of let you know that how these things kind of work. But I'm going to share this that Heidi shared on her Instagram. Let me see if it'll. Let me see. Do I have to play it on here? Will it play on there when I play it here?
It should.
Okay. Let me unmute it.
I am sitting in my living room and getting everything ready for our pre-order that launches tomorrow for our new albums. And I'm excited. We've got vinyl, CD, T-shirts, books, like all sorts of fun stuff. So ready for everyone to eat it all up. But I'm also over here with a bit of gratitude and very honored to be releasing the song that is coming out tonight. It comes out at midnight Eastern, so where I'm at, 9 p.m. And you guys are going to kind of get a glimpse into me. And last December is really personal. I really know that a lot of people are really going to relate to it. So enjoy. Please let me know how it makes you feel. Please let me know what you think about it. It's different than anything we've ever done, but I feel like it was a story that needed to be told. Oh, hello. I am sitting.
All right. So that was, I don't know if that was the one that I was trying.
Baby, I'm just not.
This is kind of part of it. So
Maybe things will never change. Maybe just a little blood to let them know I'm not okay. Baby.
so I wish I could find the actual video that she was talking about all of that in, but it was the one before that one, and it may not be up anymore. I'm not sure. I don't see it. So, but it pretty much came to where she was talking about how uh, everything everything was good in her life. I mean, she, her relationship status was great. Their band was on tour. They were making good money. Everything was perfect in her life, and just something in her head just, clicked, and she even mentioned that she even like thoughts of taking her own life was even in her thoughts. And I'm just like, man, that kind of hits deep when you think everything's going so great and you still get thoughts like that. That's a little that's a little crazy, but yeah. I mean, of course, don't get me wrong, we're glad that David didn't do what he did, and we're glad she didn't do what she did, because what she thought, I guess. But yeah, so depression hits these guys, man, like, and girls, but yeah, we can't always think that the glamour we see is how they always are. So
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
I hope, obviously that song for her was probably cathartic, and
yeah,
um,
it's really
David,
deep, man.
yeah. And then, I'll have to take a second to listen to it. Like I say, the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to catch up with my own
Oh yeah,
ass.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but and I need to listen to the new Spillage that came out last night too. But so hopefully the song was a little bit of a catharsis for her, and David sharing what he shared on stage, kind of hopefully that was the same thing for him. So we've seen a lot over the last maybe year, maybe a little more, definitely since we were all coming out of the pandemic.
yeah.
People were starting to like look at things, putting things into perspective. And some of the members of these bands, like, what, I need to take a step back for me before I do something I may regret, I may not be able to take back, or I drag the entire band down with me, So people are starting to, people are starting to pay more attention to what's going on with themselves, and that's good. People need to do that. So, but before things get too far, and before, like I say, before things are irreversible, there are certain things that you can do. There are certain things you can do that you can't take back, obviously.
Right.
So look out for number one, and everybody take care of yourself. So it's good. And if anybody out there's like, she's crying in her music video, what a baby, just fuck off. So I mean, everybody has their moments, and even the strongest people are not strong 100% of the time. I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, the world weighs on everybody, and everybody's got their breaking point. Some people it takes longer, but everyone gets there from time to time. So I don't like that. I don't like to see that people are getting to that point. You never like to see it, but what I do like to see, and what I do like to hear, is that it's that people are taking steps to help themselves,
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that when people are taking steps to help themselves. And it does seem like more and more, slowly but surely, the stigma is wearing off, about, oh, well, I need to talk to somebody, I need help, I need this, I need that.
Right.
Do that. Please do that. Please do that.
Yeah. And also, I forgot about this. On June 6th, didn't I don't think we did. You I don't think you said anything about this. I think I posted this back then, didn't I? Yes. The uh, Dan, I can't remember his last name, but he was the bassist for Icon, passed away. And I know Godslave is real good friends with those guys, and they posted it on their socials. That's how I caught wind of it. But yeah, the bassist for Icon, he actually passed away. So our thoughts and condolences goes out to those guys too. So
no, I must have missed that. I'm going to look that up real quick.
yes,
I'm gonna look that up because I definitely want to make sure that that we get that Dan Wexler.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Okay, all right, hang on. Let's see. Because I definitely want to make sure that. Let's see, members. Yeah, because I definitely want to make sure that anyone who unfortunately they make it to the in memoriam at the end of the year.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I actually say that because I didn't know if you would talk, because I know you usually catch those, and I said, well, I'll hang on to it just in case, and I didn't hear you say anything, so I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna say something to him about it. So.
No, I didn't. Thank you for that.
I thought I had shared that Heidi post on the Metalheads page, but I guess I didn't. I was trying to find the original post of that because it was. Oh, I did. Here it is. Let me share this, and we'll that way. I kind of want people to get the idea of why she was doing what she just did. Because
okay.
So let me see. There. Something now. Yeah. So this was the original one, I do believe.
Okay.
Let me unmute it. Sorry.
In my bedroom, here we are. We are filming parts of a new music video that will be coming out in a couple of weeks, along with a song off of the new albums called Last December. And the song was, it is probably one of the most important songs personally that we've ever, written, recorded, and released. It's written about a really, really dark time in my life. I would say probably, if not the darkest, one of the darkest times. And it wasn't even that long ago. It was December of 2019. And it was one of those times where I just felt like something else had taken over my body and mind. And there wasn't really one thing that caused this deep depression. There wasn't really any one thing that caused it by any means. Everything was fine. Everything was great. I was had a house in San Jose and staying with all of our best friends. I got my dude, my dog, career, everything was great, but something I just couldn't shake. The song was written about that time. And oof, I almost wasn't here anymore. And that's what the song's about. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. It's really kind of my therapy and something that I feel like other people need to hear. But I know I'm not alone in this, and neither are you. So I wanted to really invite you to be a part of this video too. there's always that one glimmer of hope, that one thing that really pulls us out of it. And there was a moment where I remember looking at my dog and just thinking, that poor girl would be so sad if I weren't here with her. And I really think that that's what saved me. And I know that each of us have our own things that really pulled us out of these moments. And so if you feel comfortable, I would like to include you in this music video. If you wouldn't mind sending me a video kind of like this, or sideways really, of just telling what pulled you out, what gave you that glimmer of hope, what brought the moment of clarity to you, what made you decide that you are good enough because you are, and that this life was worth living because it is. And I would love to include you in the music video. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can put an emoji there, but if you want to show your face, you can. I just think that the more we tell our stories, the more that the stigma is gone, and the more that we can help each other. We can help pull each other out of those dark moments. So I love you guys. And if nobody sends a video, I'm just happy and excited that I get to share my truth with you. Thank you.
There you go.
So yeah, so that was the original video. So that's
Okay.
I mean, to me, that's it takes courage to come out and talk about something that dark in your life, anyway. So, David, of course, and then she came off doing that, and I'm sure other musicians have felt this way and just never came, to public with it.
Well, I remember maybe a year, year and relatively recently. I remember James did the same thing on stage.
Yeah.
Remember, exactly. He did the same thing. Yeah, he did the same thing.
Yeah. And unfortunately for him, alcohol is the thing that kind of, drives his depression. So
yeah, it's kind of,
if he can't, you can't have. So the biggest problem is when you have two crutches that are eating at you, or two to put it in a science term, macrophages eating at you. But yeah, it's all to have two things eating at you. Period is enough. Not to mention, and like I said, she said in the video, like everything was great. She just didn't know why you just don't know why you feel the way you do. Just something comes over you, and it's just I'm just just grateful that she didn't do anything crazy, or we'd be talking about her in a different segment on here, which we don't want to do.
Yeah. No, we don't. Which, by the way, I don't see anything on here about that dude from Icon who passed away. If you get a chance at some point, just forward something to me.
Okay, yeah, I will.
All right.
Yeah, it was on the.
Because I do want it. Was it in the group? If it is, I'll find it.
It's on the group. It's kind of way down there. So.
Okay, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Yeah, because we're not Grammys, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We try to include everybody. So, but
yes,
yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that Butcher Baby. They're actually coming out with a double album, which is cool. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I think that's the first time they've ever done anything like that. So it's pretty cool.
Well, they're kind of growing as a band. Then it sounds like.
Yeah, they are, and like I said, it's kind of. I was trying to think like a way to put this, but even as a band, I think sometimes you don't. When your depression hits, I don't think it even. You're conscious of, hey, I could go talk to one of these guys, because those people probably know you better than anybody. So, But I don't think I don't know. I think depression just hits you in a way where you just don't think anybody will listen. You know what I mean? It's kind of and then a lot of times people think they can just deal with it too, and it winds up being too much. So, but yeah, don't ever get to the point to where it's too much. You know what I mean? Get some help before then. Even if you're, find a stranger on a fucking subway for guys. I mean, something. Strike up a conversation with a fellow metalhead because I mean that's what we're here for. I've talked to plenty of people, about stuff like that. So, reach out to Metalheads Unite. I'll be glad to talk to any of you guys.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely, man.
Don't get me wrong. I'm if anybody knows me, I'm a happy go lucky, funny guy. I'm usually always cracking jokes and shit. But I mean, I've had depression hit me too. I mean, we're all human, so it happens. So
yeah,
not to the point where I ever thought about taking my life, but it's been pretty rough.
Yeah, same. Yeah, like she said in the video, there are people out there who will listen. There are people out there.
Yeah, and I wish I knew. I wish I would have read more into the video because I've forgotten that she had said to send in a video. I probably would have done that just to put some awareness out there. But yeah, I'm dealing with a pretty rough week myself, but I'm still I'm holding it together to, pretty good, I think. So, I don't usually like sharing personal details on the show because that's kind of not what it. We kind of try to stick to what we do and try to move things the way they're supposed to move. So, and I could, me and you know each other, but if somebody else come on the show, but Bob passed away. I'm like, who the fuck is Bob? Nobody knows who the fuck Bob is. So and that's kind of the way I look at it. It's like that's my personal thing, and so. But if you want to send thoughts and prayers out, that's we accept those. So those are free.
Yeah, we do. We do.
It don't take much to sit down if you're a believer in that stuff and take a knee and pray for these people, man. Especially going through stuff like that. If you know somebody, it damn sure can't hurt. That's for sure. So
no.
So if you didn't have anything else, right?
Nope. I'm done.
All right. So I got some other headline stuff I'll run through real quick. Avenged Sevenfold's new album debuted at number 13 on the Billboard 200. We have no idea why, but
or how.
So, but there you go.
I was so goddamn disappointed with that.
Well, like I said,
that reminds me. That surprise EP that Slipknot dropped.
Yeah.
Useless.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
I was hoping it was from like some recording stuff from back in the early days or something.
Nope. Wow. It's basically 3 remixes of Adderall, which was the worst
song on that record anyway.
It was the worst song on the new album. So basically it was 3 remixes.
They was trying to make it better.
It did.
It didn't work.
It was like 3 remixes, 2 instrumentals, and crap. Hang on. It was like I say. Basically, it was a useless EP.
Okay.
Because I thought kind of like you. Well, maybe they came out with some.
I know Sean had been talking about releasing some stuff from the Paul Gray era that never got released, and that's kind of what they were doing. Since they had they're pretty much independent, and Roadrunner's actually been the one that was blocking them from releasing them.
Actually, they released the EP on Roadrunner.
Are you freaking serious?
Dead serious.
Wow, that's ridiculous. Right. Maybe they had to release one more.
I don't know.
Album with something.
Maybe.
Said, all right, well, we'll just do this just to fucking get it out. So,
maybe. Hang on, just 1 second.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, because I was like, oh shit, new EP. All right, see. Yeah, let's see. It was 3 alternate versions of Adderall, and it was basically 3 alternate versions of Adderall and 3 instrumentals. It was 19 minutes it was basically 19 minutes of just
Mm.
remixes and noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
And that comes, and that's just as much of an Avenged Sevenfold as I've been since the
Yeah.
beginning. I've been a Slipknot fan since the beginning. But hey, I'm a realist. That
Right.
EP was useless. That new Avenged Sevenfold was shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's we kind of had the same view. I told you before you ever listened to it, don't waste your time.
Yeah, you did. You texted me and warned me.
I said, dude, this is some damn, almost like an alien's taking over.
Yeah,
M Shadows' body and mind or something,
yeah.
man. I don't know. It's like,
And the funny thing is I saw something on Blabbermouth today where Sinister Gates was like, we may not do full albums anymore, and for a split second I was like, thank God.
you're right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I don't know what they were trying to do. I mean,
I don't know, man.
Maybe they succeeded in what they were trying to do. I don't know, but that's definitely not not the Avenged Sevenfold that we know and love. That's for sure.
No.
So
here's one thing I will say.
Bad when the stage was better than this,
right? So here's and it got me thinking. This is my advice. This is just my opinion to any bands who are out there. If you want to go through an experimental phase, what I recommend you do is don't do an entire album.
like an EP or something.
Well, I mean, either do an EP, or if you want to experiment a little bit, do a couple of songs on an LP, just for a little bit of diversity. If you want to experiment, don't do an entire album.
Well, I mean,
that's my advice.
So look at it this way. Look at what Foo Fighters did. They changed their whole fucking name to Dream Widow and did an experimental death metal album. So I mean, do that. Change your fucking name and do something. Because I mean, you as a band have a sound when you created this band, and it's not, and you can change it a little, but to fucking flip it like 360. Yeah. I mean, that's a little bold, man.
So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of my advice. If you want to experiment,
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Sprinkle it in there. Just sprinkle it in there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, just do that. Like if you have a 10-song LP and you want to have a couple of experimental songs there, mm-hmm. That would get my attention, and I'd be like, that was different.
Yeah.
But don't just torpedo your entire sound with an LP that sounds like that.
Right.
My God.
All right, let's move on. we could down this shit all night.
We probably should. Yeah.
We probably should. Metallica got a noise complaint at the Download Festival. I think maybe you
15 miles away.
Yeah, Dana or somebody posted that. So.
15 miles away.
That's crazy.
I did post that, yeah.
Well, first off, if you live close to the Download Festival, you should know what to expect. I mean,
you should.
It's time to go on a holiday yourself. It sounds like so.
Yeah.
Satanic Planet is raising funds to play state capitol buildings across the U.S., which is kind of funny. And you know how I feel about mixing metal with politics, so we won't go there.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Nope. And then Alice Cooper announces a new album, Road, and then he released a new single. I think he released that yesterday or today.
I think so. It was sometime earlier this week. Yeah.
I think it dropped at midnight this morning, last night, whatever, however you want to say it.
It's gonna be like what, his 30th studio album or something?
I don't know, something like that. It seems like him and who is the other band that keeps coming out with stuff like, seems like every damn, like Rage or something. Like he's coming out with stuff like every freaking year and a half.
Yeah, it's Rage. I think it's Rage. I think Rage is up to 25 studio albums.
Something crazy like that. I'm like, wow.
But I mean, Detroit Stories came out just like a year and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2021, or
I
like
think
the latter part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alice Cooper said, "Fucking the word retire was not in his vocabulary."
No,
he's a man of his word.
Yeah, he'll probably die on stage. Probably. I mean,
he might.
That's his prerogative. If that's what he wants to do. So.
Yeah, it is.
And that, honestly, maybe what's keeping him, in shape and active, and
probably. It probably is.
Because I mean, he doesn't look bad for his age, for sure. So, So As I Lay Dying is mixing a new album, which is pretty cool.
Number 8, I believe.
Yeah. Agnostic Front's Vinny Stigma says, I'm not going to retire. So if Agnostic Front don't want him, I guess he'll probably do something else because he said he ain't going nowhere. Wolfgang Van Halen blasts bands who rely heavily on backing tracks. Said you should be able to play your own shit. I agree. Epica says we already started working on new music, so there's new music there for Epica fans. X-Typo Negative guitarist wants Axl Rose to sing at hypothetical Peter Steele tribute concert. I don't know.
Well, I
don't even know how to take that hypothetical concert.
Well, with one of my buddy Tyler at work showed me a TikTok video of Axl Rose singing at a show recently. And if that's the way he's singing, let's keep that hypothetical tribute concert just that. Let's keep
just it hypothetical.
At least Axl Rose's part in it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: he sounded good when I seen him, but that was in 2019. So.
Okay.
Well, that's 4 years ago. So who knows?
I would say maybe the last 4 years haven't been kind to him. Maybe.
Anthony Abaddon Bray doesn't rule out a reunion of Venom's classic lineup. I can see it happening. Man, he's got bigger visions than I think the rest of them do. But
a little bit.
Stephen Piercy says some 1980s bands are falsely claiming to be from Sunset Strip, so they came from like Pennsylvania or somewhere.
I saw that. That's funny.
Oh my god! Original Slipknot singer Anders Kolsefny to perform the entire Mate Feed Kill Repeat album on his fall 2023 tour. Pretty cool. Mechanical Bull from Commonwealth Games could be named after Ozzy Osbourne. That could be.
I think it should be.
Yeah. Janet Gardner says she isn't bothered by Vixen continuing with only one member from the classic lineup. She tells the girls to have fun. So there you go. That's pretty cool that there's no animosity about them carrying on. That's for sure. So.
Yeah.
Metallica to release the Amsterdam sessions exclusively via Amazon. I think it's going to be like 3 or 4 live tracks from over there when they were live. I don't know, something like that. This one kind of had me excited. I know you probably will be too. But Shadows Fall are to start the recording process this week. So,
yep.
Yes, there we go. Can't wait for that.
Yes.
And actually, you mentioned this earlier, but I wrote it down too. Avenged Sevenfold's Johnny Christ said we don't know if we're going to do a full album again. Like you said,
it was Johnny. I thought it was Sinister Gates, but yeah,
it was Johnny Christ. Yeah. Then Dee Snider rules out Twisted Sister reunion tour. That part of my life is done. Which, I don't know if you've seen other news with Dee Snider, but he's getting about as crazy as fucking Ted Nugent these days, man. I tell you, celebrity deathmatch. There we go, man.
I think he's got a way to go, but he's
definitely getting there. That's for sure.
He's gaining ground, I think. But
I think these guys is getting old and I don't know, they're just senile or what, but I don't know what's going on with them. But anyway. Mitch Malloy opens up about his exit from Great White, said it wasn't really fun anymore. Well, we know somebody that may thank him for not having fun anymore. Brett Carlisle.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'll take that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which Brett Carlisle does a great job with some of those older Great White songs too, because I was complimenting him on the podcast about that. So.
Oh yeah.
And then last but not least, Killswitch Engage was joined by Joey Belladonna and Howard Jones at a Hampton Beach concert. So you never know who you're going to see on stage. Never going to know who you see on stage with Killswitch Engage. So that's always cool to see. So I want to point out too, before we get into any more stuff, that the little ticker running across the screen there is our new radio station that I've affiliated with, and we've been trying to drop tracks on there. So it's an internet radio station. You can just hit that link and hit play, and it should go through a series of songs there for you. I want to say there's a couple hundred on there already, and I've been adding every day. So hopefully at some point you'll be able to take a ride from cross country and not have to worry about hearing repeat songs. that's my goal. So
there we go. Yep.
So it'll take a while, but I'll get there. I promise you.
Yeah,
but like I
okay,
said,
good.
I am loading stuff every day on there. So even if it's, I think I can't do but so many a day. So I'm having to like, I think it's only like 100 I can do a day or something. So
That's still a lot.
yeah, I
That's a
do
lot.
100 a day, but I'm trying to upload at least something new on there every day. So I think I did 30 or so before I even came on here. So
Nice.
so it is real. It's kind of simple. I guess I mean I shouldn't say it's really simple, but it is kind of simple. It doesn't take long to upload. 30 songs. I think took me 15 minutes. So to download and upload. So pretty cool.
That's good.
So, but just wanted to put that out there, and it's also shared over on our pages. So if you want to follow us over there, you can do that as well. So now I guess we can go into hitting the road.
Yep.
I figured this show was going to be long since we had 2 weeks worth of shit. But
Yeah. We're gonna be doing a lot of hitting the road.
yeah.
I've got 3 minus last week when I was out of town and kind of stuck in the hospital. Not me personally, but
Right.
in-laws. But so I basically got 3 weeks worth of stuff to go through. So try to get through this as quickly as I can.
I'll kick this off where you can finish it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Finish it up there. So I got a couple of festival announcements, which is pretty cool. Some first evers and some coming backs. So pretty cool. This one says, I'm elated to announce the first ever Metal Injection Festival, which will take place over in Orange County, California on September 16th at the Observatory and then September 17th at the House of Blues Anaheim, which is cool. They got two different venues too. So that's pretty crazy. But the lineups are September 16th at the Observatory is going to be Max and Igor Cavalera. And then Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation special set. They're doing a special set for those albums, I believe. So, and then Exhumed, Insight, Fueled by Fire, and Dead Heat. September 17th at the House of Blues Anaheim, you're going to have Testament, Machine Head, Fear Factory, Exabalba, Spirit Adrift, Ex Mortis, King, Contra Cult Collective, Upon Stone, and Thrown into Exile. So that's a pretty massive little concert there. And to take things up a notch, Metal Injection will be raffling off a pair of ESP guitars signed by each headliner. Night 1's guitar will be signed by Max Cavalera, while Night 2's prize will be signed by Alex Skolnick. There you go. So,
nice. Very nice.
And then I had Hatebreed announced their Rise of Brutality tour with Terror, Vain FM, and Jesus Piece. That kicks off in Albany, New York on September 2nd at the Born Dead Fest at Empire Live. And then ends on September 24th in Tampa, Florida at the Orpheum. They will be stopping by Nashville at the Eastside Bowl on September 12th, which I will be in Atlanta that weekend. Going to see Lamb of God and Pantera. So Susie was talking about that. She goes, "Oh, Hatebreed's coming." I said, "You do know we'll be in Atlanta that weekend." She goes, "Son of a bitch." So then I got Ginger announces a solo North American dates solo. Kicks off September 7th in Huntsville, Alabama at the Morris Music Hall, which we've both been to.
Cool venue.
Yeah, it's a cool venue. And then that ends on September 25th in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Commodore Ballroom. Man, the dates in between are kind of crazy, man. They got like 3 U.S. dates or 4 U.S. dates, and then they're hitting Canada. And then, and I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. I guess hitting Canada and going over back to Ukraine may be better for them. I don't know.
Well, it might be.
The New England Metal and Hardcore Festival is coming back for the first time since 2016, and with one hell of a lineup. The New England Metal and Hardcore Festival will take place at the Palladium Outdoors in Worcester, Massachusetts on September 15th and 16th, and will feature the following lineups. Friday, September 15th, you got Partway Drive, The Amity Affliction, North Lane, and Make Them Suffer. And then Saturday, September 16th, you got Lamb of God, Hatebreed, Shadows Fall, The Black Dahlia Murder, 100 Demons, Vain FM, 200 Stab Wounds, Crown Magnetar, Darkest Hour, Enterprise Earth, Frozen Soul, Fuming Mouth, Gates to Hell, Hazing Over, Judiciary, Momentum, Paleface, Ringworm, Tribal Gaze, and Undeath. So that one. I do like that a lot of these festivals are kind of moving the 4-day stuff down to 2, and I think that's going to be. I think that's a lot better, man. That's just, man, 4 days is a lot, dude. Especially for me at my age, I'm just like, dude. By the 3rd day, I'm like, fuck, I want to go home.
Well, that's a lot for anybody, because I mean that's a lot of meals you have to pay for.
Right.
It's having to find accommodations, which is more expensive, and then people got to take time off work. They got to travel. Then they're there. Then they got to go. So you're talking damn near a week to go to this festival.
Yeah. I know it. I know the last one. Last time when we went to Blue Ridge, it was probably a $1,500 trip easy. So,
yeah.
I mean, by the time we bought merch and meals and gas and rent a car and hotel, and it adds up, man. Like, hell, the tickets ourselves were $400. I mean, so yeah. All right, then this one was announced earlier in the week. I was kind of excited about this one. Static X, Seven Dust, and Dope announced a U.S. tour kicking off on October 6th in Houston, Texas at the 713 Music Hall, and that ends on November 1st in Los Angeles, California at the Wiltern. They will be in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at Hot Springs Beer Park on October the 11th. Don't know when the I don't know when the Metal Devastation Festival is, but hopefully it's not that weekend because probably be going to that instead if it is.
I don't know.
Then we had Overkill, Ex Hoarder, and Heathen announce a U.S. tour, and the motherfuckers ain't coming nowhere near here. Damn you!
No, I know.
July 13th in San Francisco, California at the Great American Hall, and then ends on July 30th in Huntington, New York at the Paramount. And then I think this is my last one. And then the last one, we're just a few weeks out from the return of the Capulet Fest, bringing a weekend of heavy rock to Connecticut in early July. Organizers have now revealed this year's lineup. Will take place at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park in Thompson, Connecticut. Will play host to the weekend festival, which will feature over 30 acts playing the 2 concert stages, culminating with a 4th of July weekend fireworks celebration, which is pretty cool. Saturday, July 1st, you got Memphis Mayfire with Norma Jean, Skylight Drive, Secrets for the Fallen Dreams, Until I Wake, Famous Last Words, Catch Your Breath, Spoken, Outline in Color, Set for the Fall, Versus Me, Saw, Nerve, Awake at Last, Varsity, Dead by Wednesday, Nowhere Left, and Magnets for Maniacs. And then Sunday, July 2nd, you got All That Remains, Amberlin, Emery, Woe Is Me, Savage Hands, Picturesque, Within the Ruins, Convictions, Any Given Sin, Dreamwake, Horizon Theory, or Horizon Theory. Maybe it's Horizon Theory. I don't know. Either way.
I think you were right the first time, but yeah.
Horizon?
I think so.
Okay. Kingsman, Uncured, Kill the Imposter, Rise Among Rivals, Destroy, Create, Little Us, Saved by Scarlet, and Gina Fritz. So when festivals coming back and some new ones popping up, man, it's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping like a lot of these other like like Louder Than Life and all those kind of go down to 2 days, because I mean Saturday and Sunday's enough, man. That's kind of 3 days. I mean, I know it's probably they got it figured out, so I guess 3 days probably had nothing to them. But Blue Ridge definitely, if they don't succeed this year, they definitely need to cut back or something. So
yeah. They may have to. They may have to make it 3 days.
Yeah, because I mean, this people. I really hope they got the transportation issue figured out. I'm still in their group, so I'll be following it when it goes on to make sure that if it goes on without a hitch, then maybe I'll look into going back or something. But I know they signed a big deal with the same venue for a while, so hopefully they.
Well, they get some venue stability that might help.
Yeah, it might, because like I said, and then an ownership stability too, because I mean they went through 3 owners, so that hadn't helped either.
That would definitely help too.
All right, that was my contribution to the hitting the road. So,
all right, well, my hitting the road segment. I'm going back to May 13th here, so a little more of a month. So, yeah, there was a lot. Starting off at the PRP.com with Steel Panther going on a U.S. tour starting July 13th in Huntington, New York at the Paramount, finishing August 19th in Las Vegas at the House of Blues. No Nashville date there. Then we have Fallujah and Enterprise Earth are going on a co-headlining tour this summer starting July 9th in Las Vegas at the Backstage Bar and finishing July 20th in Mesa, Arizona at the Nile Theater. No Nashville date there. The Devil Wears Prada, Fit for a King, Counterparts and Landmarks, going out starting September 15th in Anaheim, California at the House of Blues, finishing October 19th in Las Vegas at the House of Blues. It's kind of weird. Nashville date for that tour, October 6th at Marathon Music Works. Then we have Ice Nine Kills, August Burns Red, Veil of Maya, Mike's Dead, Set It Off, and The Plot in You. That's one of those tours where, not all of those bands are going to be on the bill every night. You'll get different lineups in different cities.
They're all there. They're all in Nashville, though.
Yeah. Starting August 8th in Columbus, Ohio at Kemba Live, finishing September 3rd in Phoenix, Arizona at the State Farm Stadium. They will be in Nashville on August 16th at Marathon Music Works.
That's my birthday.
Yeah. Then we have, let's see, what do we got? Lorna Shore, The Acacia Strain, and I Am are going on a mini tour in September. September 3rd in Wichita, Kansas at Temple Live. September 5th in Huntsville, Alabama at the Mars Music Hall. Like I say, we've been there. Cool venue. September 6th in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Signal. Also been there. Yeah. Also a cool venue. And September 7th in Greenville, South Carolina at the Foundry Mill.
Haven't been there.
Let's see. Slaughter to Prevail is going on a North American tour in July, starting July 6th in Toronto at the Danforth Music Hall, finishing July 21st in Atlanta at the Buckhead Theater. They will be at the Brooklyn Bowl in Nashville on July 20th.
Nice.
Let's see. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I didn't know we went back that far. I still had stuff from that far back. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll admit I'm kind of like sorting through this a little bit. Let's see.
Well, I mean that was the show that kind of got scrapped in the middle. So.
Yeah. Well, you kind of gotta pick your spots at some point with the amount of shows that get announced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judas Priest, Saxon, Uriah Heep have announced a 2024 European tour starting March 11th, 2024 in Glasgow, Scotland at the OVO Hydro, finishing April 8th in Paris, France at the Zenith. That's Judas Priest and Saxon only. Let's see. Fear Factory, Butcher Babies, and Ignia are going to Europe this fall, starting October 27th in Nottingham, England at Rock City, finishing December 16th in Helsinki, Finland at Tavastia. Exodus has canceled their spring and summer 2023 European tour, so Gary Holt can tend to his family after his brother was recently hospitalized in Italy. I know we talked about that. I think we talked about that with Drew when he was on here.
Yeah.
And let's see, Massacre. This one was from Facebook because Massacre, Necrocy, and Methane, our friends, are going on a quick tour of Europe starting July 4th in Geleen, Netherlands at the Café de Meister, finishing July 15th in Gävle, Sweden at the Gefle Metal Fest. So good for Methane. They get to go across the pond. And of course, they're over there anyway, but good for them. Then let's see. Going over to the current list from this past week. Head PE is going on a summer tour starting July 19th in Sacramento at the Goldfield Trading Post, finishing September 3rd in San Diego at Brick by Brick. No Nashville date there. The Black Dahlia Murder, Chelsea Grin, 200 Stab Wounds, and Gates to Hell are going on tour in September, starting September 8th in Alton, Virginia at the Blue Ridge Rock Fest. That's the Black Dahlia Murder only. Finishing September 16th in Worcester, Mass. at the New England Metal and Hardcore Fest. No Nashville date for that tour, but they will be in Knoxville at the Concourse on September 9th. Asking Alexandria, The Who, Bad Wolves, and 0936 are going on a fall tour starting August 30th in San Antonio at the Boeing Center at Techport, finishing October 8th in Los Angeles at the Wiltern. No Nashville date there. Nothing More, Hero the Hero, Dead Poet Society, and Post Prophet are going out in September, starting September 8th in Nashville at Marathon Music Works, finishing September 25th in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Fillmore. Wage War will celebrate their 10th anniversary at the House of Blues in Orlando, Florida on December 15th with Era 0936 and one more artist still to be announced. Let's see. Knocked Loose is going on a summer European and UK tour starting August 6th in Raznov, Romania at the Rockstad Extreme, finishing August 26th in Leeds, England at the Leeds Festival. This one, I hope comes to North America in some form or fashion. Death Angel, Sacred Reich, and Angelus Epitrita are going on a tour of Europe starting October 27th in Antwerp, Belgium at Zappa, finishing November 18th in Eindhoven, Netherlands at Hell Dorado, which is a cool name for a venue. Hell Dorado.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Death Angel, Sacred Reich, and Angelus Epitrita. Are you kidding me with that lineup? Get out of here.
Yeah.
God. And you mentioned one part of this earlier in the show, but Waylon Rivas of Mushroomhead and Anders Kolsefny of Slipknot are going to be going on an Australian and New Zealand tour together, starting October 11th in Sydney, Australia at Crowbar, finishing October 23rd in Dunedin, New Zealand at The Dive.
Yeah.
Madball, Death Before Dishonor, and The World are going on a North American tour in the fall, starting September 6th in Syracuse, New York at the Song and Dance, finishing October 8th in Cincinnati, Ohio at Legends. They'll be in Nashville October 5th at The End. Bring Me the Horizon, Bad Omen, Static Dress, and Cassette are going to the UK and Ireland, starting January 9th, 24 in Cardiff, Wales at the International Arena, finishing January 23rd in 24 in Dublin, Ireland at the 3 Arena. Skillet, Theory of a Dead Man, and Saint Asonia have announced the fall leg of their tour, starting October 20th in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, finishing December 9th in Wichita, Kansas. They will not be in Nashville, but they will be in Johnson City, Tennessee on December 2nd. And if you notice, I didn't say what the venues were because they weren't listed. So
Really?
Yep, which is weird. So I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. Let's see. I think that'll pretty much do it. Oh, Bleeding Through has announced 2 more shows for the 20th anniversary of This Is Love, This Is Murderous. That's going to be August 17th in Iowa City, Iowa at Gabe's, featuring Too Pure to Die. Then they will be in Chicago on August 18th at Bottom Lounge, featuring Dead to Fall and Too Pure to Die. So that's going to be hitting the road for 3 out of the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. And if anybody local was out and about this weekend, our friends over at Lost Circus and Wild Ride, they're dragging us and some other bands out there. They're going to be at the Eastside Bowl tomorrow night. So June 17th. So good little independent show, man. Go out and catch those guys and show them some love. So.
Support your local bands.
Yes. All right. So there was something I had. I was following along with you because some of the ones I had from that week was. Did you do the Devil Wears Prada Fit for a King Counterparts and Landmarks? Did you do that one?
Shit. I don't remember if I did or not. Give me a second. I may have missed that one. But if you got it, go ahead and read it off.
Yeah, it was. They kick off September 15th in Anaheim, California at the House of Blues, and then the end October 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the House of Blues. So.
Okay, maybe I did say that one because
because I think you did. I think you did say something where they started and ended.
So. I may have.
Yeah. And they're going to be in Nashville October 6th. So I think you.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I read that and I said, "Was that this?" Because I thought it was weird. I said, "Surely there ain't 2 shows that start and end at the House of Blues." That would be weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so make sure we cover up these.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can switch over to our them of the week. That's what I wrote instead of theme of the week. So
the them of the week. Nice.
Yeah. Spell check didn't even stop me. I guess because them's a word, you know.
That's true.
But them of the week don't make much sense, does it?
You figure that you would have gotten a little blue line for the grammar
or something, yeah. Whatever.
Because like the red line is for the red squiggly.
You know what? I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna go look because I still have it pulled up here. That's kind of crazy. No, it didn't give me anything, and I'm on OneNote, so it should have definitely gave me something. Excuse me. Wow, that's crazy.
That's pretty funny.
All right, we decided our theme of the week this week was going to be Napalm Records. We're going to keep doing our record one this week. So we got a couple of others, but I kind of throw them at Chris and let him decide and just roll with whatever he wants to do. So.
Oh yeah, blame me. Yeah.
It ain't no blame. This is all.
Oh yeah, it's all fun.
I think he just took the easy way out this week. Is what I think he did. But,
I thought I did. I thought I did.
You thought you did?
I thought I did.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like I was telling you earlier, there's a couple of bands listed on Napalm Records that I find nothing recorded by Napalm Records. So
Yeah,
I left them off. So
it was a little strange because I ran into the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if like maybe they bought out one of the older companies or something that they were under or something maybe, and I don't know,
Possibility.
Kind of, and then they just bought the catalog or something maybe. But anyway.
That could be.
Yeah, that could be what happened. I don't know because I mean, Seven Dust was under some small record labels in the beginning, so
yeah.
Anyway, the theme of the week was Napalm Records. I don't know. I got like 15 here, maybe or something. I don't know. But anyway, if we do have duplicates, there's plenty of other songs to take the place. That's for sure. So,
yeah.
I kind of like went. They had their stuff listed in alphabetical order, so I just kind of went with alphabetical order too. So, for the most part. So, started out with Andrew WK. Everybody Sins from God Is Party in 2021.
Such a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song. Yeah, it's like, coming from a long way from Let's Get a Party Started.
Oh yeah.
Bottom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood, which is the title track from their 2021 EP, Paint the Sky with Blood. Unfortunately, that was the only thing they ever recorded, which is very unfortunate because it was so good.
Extremely.
Yeah, I think that may have been EP. No, I think that was 2 because I think Non-Points came out like right at the end of that year.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Which they're working on new music too. I've been following them. They're recording and tracking. Hopefully having something out by the end of the year too. So, like, man, we're gonna have Angels Type of Trita maybe, Non-Point maybe
in October.
Crazy. Anyway, then I went with Burning Witches Unleash the Beast from the Dark Tower this year, 2023. Try to throw some new blood in here too. So, Cavalier Conspiracy, Insane from Psychosis 2017. Then I went with Destruction Diabolical, the title track from the Diabolical album 2022. Then I went with Devil Driver Wishing from Dealing with Demons 1 2020. Then I went with Evil Hell Unleashed, which is the title track from Hell Unleashed 2021. I went with Hammer King Awaken the Thunder from Hammer King 2021. Then I went with Infected Rain Pendulum from Endorphin 2019. Then I went with Ginger Mediator from Wallflowers 2021. Then Legend of the Damned Saints in Torment from the Poison Chalice earlier this year, 2023. Then I went with Mushroom Head Seen It All from A Wonderful Life 2020. Then I went with Tetrarch Stitch Me Up from Unstable 2021. Then I had The Agonist in Vertigo from Orphans 2019. Then Wasp, The Burning Man from Dominator 2007. And then last but not least, Warbringer, Woe to the Vanquished, title track from Woe to the Vanquished 2017.
I knew they were going to be on there.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about that one. Well, we had 3 duplicates.
Are you serious?
One of them absolutely doesn't surprise me at all. I tell you what surprised me about this one. You remember I remember I said a couple minutes ago I thought I took the easy way out.
Yeah.
What I realized when I was doing, of course, I have 10. I've got 10 really, really good ones, and what I realized is there's a lot of Napalm Records artists that I know, but I haven't listened to.
Yeah, I see the same thing when I seen a bunch on the list. I said, "Oh, I know them," but I don't remember ever.
Right,
I'm not like real familiar with their music, so.
Yeah, so I realized doing the research for this list, I have got some catching up to do.
Yeah.
So that being said, like I said, I did get the 10. So here's mine. First one was Awaken the Thunder by Hammer King 2021. Then I had Fight by War Kings off of Revolution from 2021. I had Diabolical also from Destruction off the album of the same name from 22. Then I had Demons Are Our Girl's Best Friend by Powerwolf off the Sacrament of Sin from 2018. Then I had American Made by Dee Snider from For the Love of Metal from 2018. Then this is the one I'm not surprised that we both had. Wishing by Devil Driver,
Yeah.
Dealing with Demons, Volume 1, 2020.
I mean, there's a lot of good songs on that album, so or the new album for that matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, the cool thing is like we both had that. We could also even off of that album, you could put like Nest of Vipers on there.
Oh, yeah.
That would be an easy one to add. Yeah. So the next one I had Healed by Metal by Gravedigger off of the album of the same name from 2017. Then I had Resurrection Day by Rage off the album of the same name from 2021. Then I had The Black Hand Reaches Out by Warbringer off of Weapons of Tomorrow from 2020. Then my last one was The Dark Tower by Burning Witches off the album of the same name from 2023. So didn't do that many title tracks on purpose. It just happened that way. So
I know. It was like, I mean, that was just some. I mean, that was just some of my favorite songs off that album. So it just happened to be that way. So
yeah,
cool. So
yeah,
compile that together and
we'll have that put up this weekend. Yeah. I'll probably if I don't do it after the show tonight, I'll do it in the morning because it's already after 12. So probably get it done tomorrow.
What was the last one we did?
The last one we did was Nuclear Blast.
It was?
Yeah.
Was it? I got Violence.
I thought we did Violence already.
No, I'm saying that was the last one I was showing. That's the one where the
Well, I think Violence I think was when did we do Violence?
Was it before that one?
Hang on, I'm looking.
Oh, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing this. I got a damn OneNote right here.
Violence was from March 25th.
Was it really?
Yep.
Wow. 526. Let's see what this one says.
526 was Nuclear Blast. But the thing was we didn't get to do that one on the air because we had so many technical issues. We cut the show short.
Right.
I just want
to make sure I'm gonna throw it on the.
Yeah. But that playlist, that Nuclear Blast Records playlist, was 3.5 hours long, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
it was so good.
A great playlist. So.
Oh, so good.
I'll throw that up there. So that's actually the Nuclear Blast playlist. So
yeah, I was listening to the Nuclear Blast one earlier this week. I was like, golly, we put.
That's the very first one that I put on. That was the very first playlist I copied and put on the radio station. So.
I was listening to it and I was like, oh my God, we put together such a good playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
We even amaze ourselves sometimes. So.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing is we have had some really damn good playlists that we've put together.
Oh yeah. Whew. Some of that, I think, what was that, the drumming or guitar when we did that time was freaking unreal.
Yeah,
I can't remember which. I think it was maybe the drumming one.
I think so. But yeah, we've put together some good ones. We really have.
All right, well, we'll jump into album reviews, and I will say this: I did not do one from this week because I went through a lot of it, and like I said, I had a lot going on, so I didn't get a chance to listen to everything. I didn't even get a chance to compile a Spotify playlist this week. I may move that into the radio station just to try to promote that more.
That's a good idea. I like that idea,
because I'll just go through the new music that comes out and then throw it on there. I may actually make a playlist of just new music and then put it in that playlist and then put it on at a certain time or something. I'll figure all that out. So
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So 8 to 10 or one night or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Nice.
Anyway, this one was actually from last week. I was going to do a write-up on it, and I've actually contacted these guys about coming on the show, but I haven't gotten a confirmation yet. So we kind of got back and forth, and I think they're trying to see what date they're.
Was that is that email thread we got going on with that Matt?
I think so. Yeah. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah. Matt Caldwell, yeah. This band's As We Suffer. This is the Fallen Pillars album. This, like I said, this was released last week. As We Suffer is a 5-piece hardcore metal band from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, which we have not interviewed a Canadian band, so that would be pretty cool.
What was it? What was the name of the album again? The Modern Pillar.
The Fallen Fallen Pillars.
Oh, the Fallen Pillars. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Current members are Ryan Caldwell on bass, Jason Yoakum on guitar, Matt Caldwell vocals, Derek Roblin guitar, Chris Nunn drums. This is the band's debut album, so that's pretty good. I don't know when they formed. That was one of the things I kind of wanted to try to find, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So maybe that's something we can ask them when they do come on the show, if they do. Anyway, this is their debut album, 11 songs, 37 minutes, 46 seconds. To me, it was a thrash meets metalcore, so I was, jizzing in my britches. So
jizzed in my pants.
Yeah. But it was kind of a Kill Switch Engage meets Shadows Fall type feel, I think.
Oh, I'm in.
Just to kind of give an idea. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're not going to sound exactly like that. So don't go in thinking they sound exactly like that. But it was kind of a combination of the two bands, maybe.
Right.
That's my best description I can do. So. With a debut album, you can't really have nothing to go off of, so you kind of give the people something to kind of go off
That's
of.
True.
So
that's true.
This album has some amazing, like I said, debut album. I was really, really amazed by the guitar work and the drumming on this thing. Man, it was so freaking it was perfect, dude. It's like the they had the little delays in there with the drumming and the guitar. Like it was they would just pause everything and then pick right back up. It was like so. I mean, everything was just so fucking intertwined well. I think so. The vocals were well done. Matt can transition between the screams and cleans really, really well. There was only like one song on there that was kind of bad to me. I still listen to it. It was just, I don't know, it didn't kind of like fit with the rest of what was going on. I didn't think of the other 10 songs, but that's fine.
That's the thing though. Whether they were just trying to do something different or they were, because I haven't heard the album, so I don't know if they were just trying something different or what. If you, like I say, sprinkle that shit in there, it's fine.
Well, the thing is, we don't know the story of this band. This band could have been recording this album for 4 years or something. We don't know. I mean, it could have been something that they just, they recorded in the beginning and wanted to put it on an album. We don't know. So
that's true.
But like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like a horrible song or nothing. It was just, not, just didn't kind of mesh for everything else that I was listening to, I guess. But like I said, that's my personal opinion. Like I said, everybody has their own opinion. But anyway, like I said, I think this one really, like I said, the everything just meshed really, really well. I think it was damn near flawless. I would almost say like it was definitely real close to being another 4.5 horn album for me, man. But that one song kind of threw it off a little bit. So I'm gonna give it 4 horns. So
nice, very nice. 4 horns. We've been having a lot of those lately. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna get into a lot more of them before the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well. We're going to keep that streak alive here. Spoiler alert. I listened to the new album When Angels Kill by Fifth Angel. They are a heavy / power metal / hard rock band formed in Bellevue, Washington in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
1984.
Yeah.
This is
their how many albums?
4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that too. That was actually one of the albums I was listening to before you told me what you were listening to, and I was like, damn. When you said that, because I had already been 3 songs into it and I kind of liked it. So
so this is their 4th studio album. They had let me do some math here. They had a 28-year hiatus between albums 2 and 3.
That's freaking crazy.
So I think you'll probably back me up on this one. This may be a band we need to reach out to kind of get the story behind that. So we may have to do that. So their current lineup consists of Steve Conley on guitar, Ken Mary on drums, Ed Archer on guitar, John Macco on bass, and Steve Carlson on vocals. Like I say, this is their 4th studio album. Their debut album, their self-titled debut album came out in 1986. Time Will Tell in 1989. The Third Secret in 2018. And then When Angels Kill today. Or considering it's after midnight yesterday.
Right, yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. So not only did they have a hiatus from 1989 to 2018, they still had a 5-year gap between their 3rd and 4th albums. So these guys don't get in too big of a hurry.
Yeah.
Their lyrical themes include fantasy, destiny, power, and love. The new album, the new album, it takes a little bit of an investment. It's 14 tracks long, an hour and 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of an investment, but with the exception of that goddamn 59-second intro, that was pointless as far as I was concerned. This album to me is kind of like Iron Maiden meets Primal Fear, and I was here for it. I was absolutely fucking here for it. The guitar work was stellar. It was absolutely outstanding. Steve Carlson, he's got a little bit of Bruce Dickinson in him without maybe without the high end, but he's definitely got a voice that works well for heavy metal in general, no doubt. He's got a heavy metal voice, no doubt about it. Like I say, the guitars were amazing. They were so well done. The guitar solos were outstanding, phenomenal. They were great. Great. My horrible Jim Rome impersonation there. They did kind of they did kind of crater the tempo a little bit towards the end. There weren't any outright ballads on this album, but what they did is towards the end, like I say, they pulled the tempo back a little bit, but the songs were no less heavy. They just kind of slowed them down a little, which was fine. I would have kind of preferred, like I say, if they would have kind of, instead of starting out here and then like bottoming out on the tempo a little bit towards the end, I kind of would have liked a little bit more of an even ebb and flow, I guess, maybe. But that's really the only thing I can kind of nitpick. Well, that and the dumbass intro. One thing that was interesting on this album, there were a lot of spoken word intros and outros to some songs. I don't know if they were like from movies or anything, or if they were all original, because a lot of them fit directly with the song. So I have a feeling that the monologues that were included in the album were all original. If we get these guys to come on, I'll ask them about that. But it kind of sounded like they were all original. But that was something that was a little different. I mean, I've heard them before, but not that many. So I don't know if it was like I don't know if there was like chapters of a story that they were trying to tell, from one song to the next. So, but it added a nice little dimension there that you don't get a lot. I mean, you do get it sometime, but it was kind of a cool little thing that they threw in there. So, but like I said, this one's definitely getting 4 horns out of 5 for me. Absolutely. And probably an email. So
yeah. So while we're talking about this, there's two albums that I started listening to that I thought about you when I was listening to the Frozen Land album, Out of the Dark. And then Stardust, Kingdom of Illusion. Those 2 albums, I think you'll like. That Stardust album, the way it fades in is so freaking cool, man. I think you'll like that. So, but it's more
Stardust.
Yeah, that's more of they're more of power metal, so that's why I didn't really. Them.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Frozen Land and Stardust.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But I was like, so this week was definitely a power metal, death metal, party. So it wasn't really much.
That's
out
cool.
There. Wasn't really much out there for the other genres for sure. So and then there's a couple of bands I don't know why they're on the heavy metal list, but that's
okay.
Neither here nor there. So we always run into a few of those. So.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I will say this: that Joel Hostra album is pretty freaking good too, man. Like,
really? Okay.
Yeah. It was really.
Nice.
I was really impressed, man. I was like, oh, this is a really. Of course, I mean, he had guest vocals on every song, but I mean,
well, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, but I was trying to remember who it was. He had on there. It was Girish Pradhan. I don't know who they actually sing for most of the time, but.
Nice.
You don't show anything, so so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who they actually sing for most of the time, but that's who gets vocals on all the songs. So like I said, that's the cool thing about the stuff we was talking about. I was talking about that with Chris Zinzak actually posted something about that, and I kind of mentioned, or he's talking about guests on albums, and I said, yeah, I mean, I think it works as long as you don't overdo it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a Megadeth record with 3 guests on it because it wouldn't be a Megadeth record in my opinion,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something like that, where like Steve Vai wanted to do something with one singer or something, I mean, that's fine. I think that's perfect. Or if you want to do like Nita Strauss has got that. I'm actually looking forward to that album, by the way.
Yeah.
But she's got stuff on there with Dorothy and
Mm-hmm.
a couple of other musicians. And she did some stuff with David Draymond. So, I mean, like she's got a couple of
Yes.
a lot of different a lot of different singers on her stuff, which is cool. So
Yeah. Well,
and
it's a little different when you got somebody like Nita Strauss, because Nita Strauss is the guitar player. So
right,
if she's putting out an album, you know that she doesn't do the singing. So
right.
obviously you're going to have
She's got somebody on tour with her singing with her though. I can't remember who it
right.
was.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of like the same thing that Yngwie Malmsteen does. But so you expect that from a guitar player. I'm sure Marty Friedman probably does the same thing.
Oh, there's no vocals on Marty's stuff. So.
Oh, he does. He never does. Okay, I
Nope.
didn't know
Yeah,
that. But
the whole show he was all instrumental. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
But yeah. So you gotta kind of gotta expect that when the focus is actually the guitar player. So
yeah. All right. So what we got to work with next week?
all right. Yep. We got a pretty good list coming up for June 23rd. Leading off over at heavymusichq.com, as always, we have a couple of re-releases from 1,000 Mods. We have Supervan Vacation and Vultures. We have Adversum with Vama Marga. The Anchoret with It All Began with Loneliness. Beneath the Hollow with Misery Loves You. Black Eucharist with Inn of the Vaticide. Black Ning with Awakening Rage. Carved in Flesh with As Seen Through Tears. That's a re-release. We have Confusion with Storm the Walls, 1990 to 94. We have Cortege with Vandari. Crepitation with Monstrous Eruption of Impetuous Preposterosity. Death Collector with Death's Toll. Degrees of Truth with Alchemists. Dionychus with Bleak and Vile box set. Despair Eternal with a self-titled EP. Entering Polaris with Atlantean Shores / And Silently the Age Did Pass. Fatal Vision with Twice. Fear Factory with a couple of re-releases, mechanized and reindustrialized. The Final Clause of Tacitus with The Oxygen Is Killing You. That's an EP. We have 4 with Skin, not Foreskin. Forged in Black with Lightning in the Ashes. Gary Moore with the Sanctuary Years box set. Graf Orlock with End Credits. That's an EP. Green Labyrinth with Sequences. Haradrim with Death of Idols, Heartline with Rock and Roll Queen, High Priest with Invocation, Infernal Curse with Revelations Beyond Insanity, Jag Panzer with The Hallowed, G-Gong with The Complex In Between, Judas Iscariot with To Embrace the Corpse's Bleeding, that's a re-release. We have Kabbalah with Spectral Ascent, that's a re-release. We have Crash Karma with Falling to Pieces. We have Kriegsgrav with Fires in the Fall, Light Lorn with The Nameless Worlds, re-release there. Lithic with Geomorphology, Live Kill with Vengeance, Lothar with Ice, Maniac with Speed Metal Terrorist, that's an EP, Membrance with Undead Islamd. Is that supposed to be, I don't know if that's Undead Island maybe, and they misspelled it. I don't know. Islamd? That's weird. It's got to be Island.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had a misprint on this one too. I was
Undead Island. Yeah.
I was looking for an album on this one. It's Religion of Fear, but it's actually Religion of Fire. So I'm like, I almost never found it.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Mental Cruelty was Wylicht. Midnight City with In at the Deep End. Miracler with How I Became the Devil. Miserere Luminous with Ordali. These Latin ones are hard. They really are. Latin's not an English language, not an easy language. Mothman and the Thunderbirds with Gazer, that's an EP. Mythos with Pain Amplifier, that's a re-release. Nocturnal Breed with Carry the Beast. Obscure Form with The Infinite Unknown. Off-Road Minivan with May This Keep You Safe from Harm. On Heil with In Black Ashes, Outlanders with a self-titled album, Parasite with Underdog, Phantom Corporation with Fallout, Phoebus the Knight with The Cursed Lord, that's an EP, The Pineapple Thief with How Did We Find Our Way, 1999 to 06, Polymerase with Dreams and Realities 1, Power Trip with Live in Seattle, Protean Shield with a self-titled album, Pilar with Limite, Pyramaze with Bloodlines, Rage and Fire with The Last Wolf, Rainer Landferman with Mehr Licht, that's an EP. German's not easy either.
Nothing's easy for me.
Now, Sacre Noir with Came de Revenants parmi les Ruines. I'm hoping I said that half-assed right. I think that's French.
Oui.
Yeah. Seek with Kokyu de Shinu Otak. I don't know. Psy with Live Eastern Forces of Evil 2022. Silence and Light with Shoulda Coulda Woulda. Snorlax with the Necrotrophic Abyss. Soul Grinder with Filth Encrusted. We have Spheros with Possession. Stairway with No Rest, No Mercy 30th Anniversary Edition. Stinking Lizaveta with Anthems and Phantoms. Structural with Decrowned. Swans with The Beggar. Thomas Andrew Doyle with Forgotten Sciences. Tomb with the Dark Subconsciousness. The Dark Subconscious. I'll get it right in a minute. That's an EP. We have Trepas with Les Hombres Malades. Spanish is easier for me. I took it in school, so it's a little easier for me.
Yeah.
We have Shooter with Helviger, I guess. Tyrants of Blood with Into the Kingdom of Graves. That's a re-release. Vacant Voice with Cathartic Beauty. Vexed with Negative Energy. Wizard Tattoo with Fables of the Damned. Wooden Veins with Imploding Waves. And last but not least, we have Zasthor with Inevitably Dark. So there's no telling how many of those band names I butchered. I apologize for all of them. So,
well, like I said, I butcher enough stuff too. So I don't make no mistake or make no excuses either. So
yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like I say, I don't.
I'll take that back. My name is the excuse, but
oh yeah, there you go. That's true.
They don't speak cornbread in fucking Spain, so.
No, they probably don't. They probably don't.
Anyway, so that will wrap this one up. Like I said, it went a little longer than we kind of figured it would since we had a few weeks to catch up on. So hopefully we can stay on track for a little while. Anyway, we'll see. So
yeah.
But anyway, we want to thank you guys for stopping in with us, and you can find us on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Spotify and
Rumble, Instagram. I will be getting back on to TikTok this week. Last week I was out. And then like the week before that, all we did was have a guest, so I didn't really have a Metalhead Minute to do.
Right.
So I will be getting back. I will be getting back into the Metalhead Minute starting this coming week. So
awesome. And then of course, like I said, always we got the little the banner there. The time ticker or whatever they call it there. It's running across there. So so with showing the link there for the music
for the new Metalheads Unite radio station.
Yeah. So all music, no podcasting there. So
nope.
Yeah, we've always wanted to kind of separate that. We actually have been looking for an avenue to play music for a while, so I'm glad we finally are able to do that. So
yeah.
So, but it'll take some time to build up the catalog, but we'll get there slowly but surely, I promise. So,
and now that we have that, but we also have as far as where you could reach us, we also have metalheadsuniteusa@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have the radio station, send us any requests.
Yeah, we'll definitely add those requests. Add those into the mix. So.
Yeah, we will, like we said when we first talked about it, and we've talked about it on the show many, many times. There are certain bands that we're not really huge fans of, and there are subgenres that we don't listen to a lot. But if you want to hear it, we will fucking play it. We are
Yeah.
not one of these. We are not one of these mainstream radio stations who will discriminate certain bands or whatever. You guys want to hear it? Request it. It'll be played.
Yeah, because I don't listen to it anyway, so I'm just kidding. They're like, damn, kind of damn guy don't listen to his own radio station. But
Yeah.
so anyway, I'm not even sure. Like, I'm not sure if you can, because it's an internet radio station, so it's not like it's got a frequency or whatever. It still uses the internet, so.
Yeah.
So there could be, I noticed today when I was listening to it, there was some spots where I had some dead air every once in a while, but it wasn't too horrible. So it was like a song, maybe, every 7 or 8 songs or something that may just for a couple seconds and then come right back. So it ain't nothing horrible, nothing I can't deal with. So it's almost like you lost a signal or something. And I could have because I was on my phone when I was listening to it. So very well could have just been a signal thing on my end. So
sure,
but just be aware it could have some dead space, and it's not because we're not a frequency. So
right,
so that makes a big difference. So
it does. It does.
But you don't have to listen to us in between talking shit. It's all music all the time. So that's a plus.
And there, and so, no commercials.
Yeah, no commercials. Not yet, anyway. We'll somebody wants to sponsor us, we might throw some in there. If somebody wants to sponsor us, I'll do it all the time. I'll just be a radio DJ host or something.
Right? Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
But yeah,
I'd be in for that.
So we will try to get the podcast on there at some point. Right now, they're still trying to work out the bugs of trying to figure out how we can get us both on. So it's like right now, if I go on there, it's just going to hear me for some reason. We've already tried that with me and me and Truly. So she said, yeah, you can only hear one. So for some reason, so they're trying to figure out why that's happening. So once we figure that out, we'll do some podcasting over there too. Now I can download this one and upload it and play it. So I can do that. So I may try to.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I may try to do something like that too, just to have the podcast out there or something. So may throw the interviews on there or something.
Yeah. We're slowly but surely finding more avenues to get ourselves out there. Like I say, we finally got you guys a way to listen to some music. Mm-hmm. Like I say, send us your requests. We'll get them onto the station.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then go by. Oh man, I forgot about the store.
Shit! Yeah, the merch.
But yeah, so we do have a merch store. I don't have it pulled up right now, but I will make sure I share that next time because I forgot about that. Because dealing with the radio, I forgot about everything else. But yeah, we do have a merch store up too. So we got t-shirts up there. So and stickers. I think I got both. I got both of those up there. So anyway, yeah. So check it out. I think it's on Teespring. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. So anyway, you can find us over there on Teespring. So Metalheads Unite, just like everywhere else. So. Mm-hmm. And T-shirt, I have this emblem right here on it. So there you go. And the World Tour stuff on the back. Oh no! There you go. Yeah, you're in the corner this time. You're in the corner this time.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Yeah, one of those spinny things is out there spinning.
Oh yeah, sign spinner.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed us back. I know we're glad to be back. So
we are glad to be back. Yes.
And like I said, hopefully we'll continue the trend of trying to be here as much as possible. So. Unless the guests start lining up, then we'll just be doing guests all the time. Sorry, we're not. I don't know if we can do 2 shows a week, so that'd be a little rough.
Yeah,
especially when we're not getting paid for it. So.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So I need everybody that listens. Give me $1. I'm just kidding.
That's right. That's right. Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Yeah, let me hold $1.
But just one more quick reminder before we go about the GoFundMe for Hidden Intent. If
Yep,
if you
go help
if
those
you
guys
if, you know if you can throw them, hell, if you can throw them $5, $10,
Yeah,
something.
something better than nothing. So
Something is better than nothing.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I may talk to Aaron and them about trying to throw that over there on their page too. So
Oh, see, that'd be cool.
see if
That'd
they'll
be
let me
nice.
do that. So I know
Yeah.
I know Dana would probably let us do it over on Meadow and Tats. So
Yeah, I'll reach out to Victor, see if he'll see
Yeah.
if he'll hook us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some avenues.
yeah, so yeah, we just share that with Victor and see if he'll share it on his stuff. So
Yeah, cool. I'll do that.
all right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we will see you back here next Friday night. We'll be back with our regular scheduled program, unless something happens with the conversation I've been having. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, the cool thing is those guys are in Ottawa and they're in the Eastern time zone too. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure
Yeah.
what time zone they were in. So
yeah, may work out.
okay, cool. Yeah. So
Be in the same situation as we were with Joe from Finality. So
yeah, we can do it. I mean, if nothing else, we could go down to like 8 if they're worried about being so late.
yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, we could do that too.
Because they're out. They'd be an hour ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 9 to 11 would be plenty late enough.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they come in here at 10. It'd be 11 to 1 for them. I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
Yeah.
We'll work out something. All right. Anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everybody, thanks for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you back here next week. Until then, keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Thank you guys. Have a great week.